Part 3. Who's your favorite guest character?
Guest
Probably
character?
Probably Johnny.
Yeah.
Johnny, yeah, probably.
I really like what is it?
Which one?
I really liked what is it? Daniel, because Daniel got off his high horse. Bruh.
Yeah, that was it.
Honestly, like what I'd say with part 3, they did a pretty good job like keeping it focused for the end. And we thought like part 1 and part 2 were a bit slow, but I enjoyed part 1 a bit more. Part 2, I feel like looking back, I feel like part 3 kind of cut out a lot of the fluff from part 2, which
Yeah.
I prefer like a stronger ending than a weak middle, I guess. So
They should have fused. They should have cut out like a couple parts in part 2 and just made part.
My God, part
Like-
2 is just melodrama.
No,
And
no.
then-
Like, there was other shit. Like no, there was stuff like so. For instance, like the actual tournament stuff was fine. Like the Robbie Kwan shit. Like when they're in that aquarium and they do that flip because it's like it announces like Kwan is like him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like no, there was good parts in part 2. There was a lot like
I
them
agree.
exploring the city and shit. No one cares about that. But
yeah. Ultimately for me with part 2 in particular, before we start getting into part 3, is that like the tournament stuff was pretty good. It's just that I guess they kind of went a little bit too heavy with the whole
melodrama.
Dimitri and the melodrama stuff.
Yeah,
like,
maybe Robbie got raped, and it's like I don't think the show really done enough with that.
yeah. Yeah, and then I guess the main thing I may have not liked in part 3, but it's just because like it came off of part 2, so it's established. It's just like how Axel folds in the fight because of
that's so. I think in part. So they're established. So I think a big thing was the training they did in part 3 with the thing. Miguel never really fought which call Axel to like get washed by him. And I think a big thing was like Robbie was scared of Axel, and then Miguel never got to fight him. And then you know how people get a power up, and it's like, oh my god, my brother died, or you killed my brother, and you like that. That happens a lot in anime where like. So I guess are we live? Are we live?
Yeah, we are
live.
So there's 3 things that happen in anime that happens when somebody automatically starts dog walking somebody in a fight.
Mm-hmm.
There's the "I love you" card, which Tori got, where it's all like someone confesses their love or something like that, and you get some new source or new energy. Because we saw that with Johnny. Because you remember when Johnny figured out that he was going to have the baby? I think in season 5, and he beat those 5 guys or something like that, right? So there's the "I love you" boost. There's the which we'll call it the "somebody died" boost or something like that, which is like I have to tee up because somebody died. And then there's like the which called "you hurt my best friend," which is that's kind of like what Miguel got when as you heard that he said that Axel messed up Robbie's leg on purpose. So
that was wild. I get it. It's not out of character or anything. But the way that I didn't expect it at all. I was like, oh, that's what you're doing. Shit.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the thing. So I think the whole thing with Terry and because they're older, they knew. This is the whole thing with like when he didn't want to fight Miguel, and the fight was turning because that does happen in fights where somebody could be winning the entire time, but then you basically learn how they fight, and you got to think about it. So, from a training perspective, with our Dimitri's VR stuff, right? That was bullshit. I'm not saying it wasn't whatever, right? They're training to stop Axel. Axel isn't really training to stop them, right? Because Axel doesn't see them as a threat, right?
Yeah.
So they learned his style more than they learned his, and I knew he was gonna lose to Miguel because the guy fucking said he's gonna be on defensive. He trained Miyagi though, not like so like that's just dumb. You're not doing research that the first style that Miguel learned was Cobra Kai, and that's what his basis is on.
Mm-hmm.
So like that like I knew that was setting up for failure. Robbie being on par, I think the whole thing with Robbie was he was scared because Robbie was doubting himself the entire second part, thinking like, and that's why he was just fighting really weak. So
yeah, but honestly, like we can go back to the beginning of part 3. Yeah. For me, I thought that like I think it did a really good job of getting it back to because like we're coming off of part 2, where the Sekai Takai in Barcelona they shut it down after the death of Quan on live television, which we thought it was kind of funny that they filmed the entire thing rather than turn off the cameras for that. But it is what it is. But yeah, so after Quan's death, it's been 1 month after, and Terry has talked to the announcer that like we want to continue it back with the conditions that basically Danny he can get the refs, he can get the venue of where he wants to do it. He'll fund the whole thing, just wants to finish it once and for all. Which we learn later that Terry is dying of some sort, with cancer or something like that.
Never specified. Fuck.
Yeah.
It was specified. He still have hair.
The thing is assumed, so he's an army vet, right? He's pretty old. We know that when he was doing the karate shit, like we saw with the flashbacks, he would do like cocaine, he would drink. So he didn't really live a healthy lifestyle when he was doing karate before. So
yeah. So,
also stress, like the stress of like being like, and I like the thing that they didn't have. So they redeemed Kreese, but they didn't redeem Terry. I actually like evil characters that stay evil. This is kind of like jumping ahead.
What the fuck? The Terry and Silver shit at the end of episode, like the second last episode, was so bullshit. I was literally laughing the entire time.
No. So I think the whole point, and I read this. The whole point was that because Johnny and what is it I think it's more symbolic than anything. Johnny and Kreese had the coming together where Johnny said, when I lost, that's when I needed by like you before you were my father figure, this, that, and the third. And then like Kreese after Terry after losing was gonna do something to his family. And it's like I think it's a little symbolic that I don't like because we saw this when they did Silver on Kreese's backstory before, where he just does it like with the what is it? The lady, it was like the 50s. It was at that diner shit, and he like defended her. So he like defended it, and like I guess it's symbolic that Johnny's never gonna know what he did for him, right? Because obviously, because we know from that conversation that Kreese actually did believe Johnny because he picked up so much thinking he was a champion. He really think Johnny could be a world champion, and he never figured out that Johnny became world champion by beating Sensei Wolf. And then also like that he really thought he was doing what's best for Johnny, which like he doesn't know that he's saying like, oh yeah, I saved you, Miguel and Carmen with this new baby by killing my like obviously the stupid why are you on a yacht? Why are you just gas on a yacht? Like that didn't make any sense. I'm not saying that made sense. I think it was just I like that. Like
I get the idea, but when I was like, okay, what the fuck does this do? It was like, oh, Kreese just teleported on the yard. I was like, okay, how do you even know where the yard is? My first question. Second question, how the fuck do you sneak on it?
From what I understand, is like Kreese was aware because like Kreese and Terry used to work together in some regard, is from what I understood.
But it's like, it's like, how do you know when you park the fucking ship in the middle of an ocean?
I'm not saying it makes it. I think because they wanted to write them off the thing as good as possible. So it's like I'm not.
Yeah. I mean,
especially some of the older legacy characters as well.
Yeah, it was like because at the end I was like, what the fuck do you thought Wolf? Wolf is such a one-note character. I was like, you should just felt like Terry instead.
Well, I think the whole thing with Wolf is like a mercenary because we saw him. He killed the
in his flashback. Yeah.
In his flashback, he killed with that little Shaolin sunset shit. He legit killed bro. So it's like I think
but I mean I get it. It's like at the same time he's such a one-note character. He's just like cartoonishly evil. I was like, okay, I just don't give a shit.
No, the thing is but I think that you need one-note characters because the redeemable villain was Kreese.
Yeah.
Silver is the one I'm bad. I'm dying. I know I'm dying. I can't I can't actually have a fun. I still want to win and like even with him like you know how sad he gotta be like I'm dying. I'm probably gonna go to hell, right? That's what he's probably.
I'm just trying to take as many people with me.
Yeah. Like, what is wrong with like I think that's better because it's like not everybody needs a redemption arc because that a lot of villains nowadays have been having fucking redemption arcs.
I also agree with that mainly because it does highlight the difference between Kreese and Terry in that regard. So like, yeah, I can agree that Terry has like I mean I said this in the part 1 and part 2 breakdowns as well. I thought Terry was pretty one note. But then you see like with him being contrasted with Kreese, who is like learning from the errors of his ways, already accepting that he's gonna die at some point. Especially with how many people he's wronged, you know, he's letting Tori know that he's always had faith in her and like how she should be continuing on the Cobra Kai legacy moving forward and all that stuff. You know, things that are clear that he's going to end himself at some point in the rest of the part. And then obviously his conversation with Johnny, both of the conversations really. So yeah, when you see that, and then you see how Terry has not changed his ways, he's still the same as he's always been, going up against somebody who has changed completely with Kreese. I think like that kind of, I think that's where it's kind of important to have somebody who can show the difference between the two characters like that. So that's why I don't mind the thematics of like how the purpose of the fight happening and then the both of them, you know, dying on the in the scene. I guess like my only thing is just getting on the yacht, having some sort of idea of like what's going to happen, and you know, and then
remember that fucking
no, but like the whole thing
like,
about fuel, the whole thing about the fuel tank thing is like, you know, I mean, boats need to have fuel too, so it's like it's not like the placement of it can be convenient, yes.
Remember that they fucking kill a legacy character and no one acknowledged. It was like, oh, okay, you just bring him and then he just got killed by knocking off the stairs. Okay.
Which one?
The person with long hair. Yeah, that is a legacy character. It's like they just never acknowledge it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, but Kreese, another legacy character, kills him. So I guess it's like, the fact that it was too easy is kind of my thing. Because like, remember that guy was like giving Johnny a hard time earlier.
Yeah.
In like I think part 1, I think.
Part 2. He kidnapped. Yeah. The fucking shitty kidnapping plot.
Yeah. He kidnapped Danny or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, like that.
So the way it ended was that for him it's kind of weak, but I think really they were putting a lot more eggs in the basket for Kreese.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, my thing is like just if you know that Terry is doing some fucked up shows, like the first thing, just tell Johnny.
I think my only thing is like with that is I feel like, I mean, Kreese was not really that much of an open person, and he wanted to do it in his terms. So I could see it. I am curious to know what is Johnny's reaction, because we never get to see anybody's reaction to Kreese killing himself. So,
yeah, I mean they don't really have.
They don't know that it happened.
I mean, to be honest, I'm gonna be honest here. That his plan. Would you rather find a person in the middle of a fucking ocean and then just kill him by hand, or just tell him to just be careful? I would be like, I'll probably do the former, because there's no way you have money to even sneak into a yard in the middle of your ocean. Especially you don't have money, Kreese.
Well,
if we think of the logistics of which is actually the better plan.
Who doesn't have money?
Kreese.
Kreese doesn't have money?
Wait, he's not rich. He does not have any more connection with the Korean people.
You don't remember he did sever his connect because he was
Yeah, he severed all the connections with like the Korean people, the people in Korea. He's severed Terry, Johnny, Daniel. So basically, he doesn't have any money, and he got escaped from prison. So he does not really have much in the bank account or a job. So you basically what the show try to convince you, it's he rather find a person in the middle of the ocean without any resources.
You can steal a boat.
than to than to like you know, tell Johnny about this. I mean, you can say that, but at the same time, the show never provide any evidence that he did.
But the other thing
like,
too with that is that I don't think Kreese knew anything about killing or like capturing his wife and daughter. Like I don't think he specifically knows that. He just killed the guy just to kill the guy.
Yeah, I mean, you could have just be like, hey, I think Silver's gonna do some fucked up shit. Can you go and can you fly to a mid? Can you guys like
that's the thing. So,
to a mid of a
but
mansion?
that's where I'm saying is like it's more on Kreese's terms in the sense that like, because like I mean, if Terry's gonna do something bad, it's like what does that really mean?
We know. So
and because they're not like feds or
the thing is, I think he didn't want to do it because we know Terry's paid for people to get kidnapped. Terry's paid for people to like buy things and like hurt people and shit. And it's like you have a newborn baby and you're finally like Johnny is finally starting over because he had Robbie and he finally got shit together with Robbie because they had that thing where he was crying. He's like, I could have beat him and all that shit. So Kreese knows this. So Kreese like this, like so this is like it's kind of like a fatherly mentality where I'm just gonna like if he's dead, there's nothing he can do. I don't know what he's gonna do, but if he's dead, there's no chance he does anything. So that's why I think it's because you have to think about it. Johnny's like any fucking even if Kreese just made like even if Kreese was just a dickhead for the next 6 months and like Johnny or like not letting Carmen work in the hospital anymore or so, like buying the hospital she works like just doing dumb shit like that's just annoying. You know what I'm saying? So like I think he just didn't even want to. You know what I'm saying? I don't.
Honestly, when I was watching the scene, it just reminded me of Amon from Korra.
Oh well, that had a little more because when his brother blew up the ship, that was better, obviously. Because that was better because he didn't have the context that your bending could be given back, and he's growing up his life entirety as a bender. He uses to grow. That made more sense, but this is like I think that was like.
I heard there was like a deleted scene related to Kreese that could have maybe explained it a bit better. I didn't see it myself, so I wouldn't know.
I have no idea. I need to watch that deleted scene because when I was watching this, I was like filling blanks at this point. I was like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever. And then I was like, okay, fine. Maybe the next episode people gotta acknowledge that. And then the only guy who acknowledged it is fucking Wolf. He literally said, "Where's Kreese? Not Kreese. Where's Silver?" I was like, okay. I was like that. I was like, if a boat, I was like, shouldn't that be major?
I wouldn't. The only thing though is like Terry himself is a benefactor. He's not really the sensei that, like, you know, because like it was always going to be Wolf versus Johnny the entire time.
Like I think they said, you remember when they were at the little banquet thing?
Dude,
Wolf got too much steak or something like that.
Well, you got to remember there's a boat exploding in the fucking middle of there's a boat exploding and it's like it killed a millionaire. It's like that's a major news.
I wouldn't know like how far out in the ocean or.
I mean, I don't care. I mean, I'm like, okay, to be honest, if Elon Musk or some rich guy got killed, like disappeared for a few days, like several days.
This is the next. This is the next day.
Yeah, there's a time jump. There's a many time jumps in this episode, by the way.
But you have to also. So I think
because they said Wolf versus Johnny was like tomorrow.
Yeah.
So it's the next day.
And I also think you also got to remember. I think didn't when Johnny bought the when Johnny came to Wolf when Terry came to Wolf, didn't Terry say that he didn't have because of this what happened in season 5, didn't he lose a lot of his businesses and stuff like that? So he doesn't have like the money or something like that. I thought that's what they hinted at, that he didn't really have all his stuff.
No, what they say is like he bought it though. He's like, fuck. Okay, what does he say? So basically, what he says is like, oh, I don't have anything anymore. Oh, you still have 4 mansions. I was like, not anymore because I have cancer, so it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I think he's just not as wealthy as he was before, and he knows he's about to die. So like maybe people think he commits suicide. I don't know, but what'd you think of? What'd you think of? They didn't really have a lot of the characters. What'd you think of Zara just being in the part 3 to get her ass whooped?
My God, she doesn't even have a character. That's the thing.
Her character was like, her character is like she's supposed to be an annoying, she's supposed to be like the popular girl that just happens to be good at karate. Like she has the fans, she's attractive or whatever. She's never been denied because that's why she's like, why doesn't Robbie like me? Like that's her character. Like her character, like that's the thing. There have been one note characters like this before. So this is kind of like you guys are kind of on the new age of like character development where it's all like, oh, these characters have to be like diverse and stuff. No, she's just supposed to be a bitch. Like
okay.
Like,
What that's the idea, and that this is how they executed in part 2. So basically, what she did was like, oh, she's a bitch. I was like, no. What happened is Tori's a bitch to her, and then she even pays for her drinks. And I know that she wants popularity and stuff, but in comparison, Tori's a much bigger bitch than her. And afterwards, in order to like make her irredeemable,
but it's also like,
so
it's like
basically,
if you dish it out, you take it back, kind of a thing.
So basically, what happened is they tried to make her a bitch, but unfortunately, what they did is make her still not that bad, and they just made her extremely bad. And then now they're just like, oh fuck, I don't know what to do
she's
with
definitely
her.
I
don't understand that.
They juxtaposed her character with their character because like when she met, like Sam is figuring out like what she's gonna do with her life. Tori's like, I have to do this so I can take care of my family because my mom died, and she's just worried about her followers on like her karate shit. Like they're trying to show like how shallow she is compared to like Sam doesn't know what she's doing, right? Even though Tori actually needs this to work. Like I need this to shake, or I'm not gonna have a life to go back to because we should call it my mother just died. So they're juxtaposing with this girl that's like shallow and pretty,
she has everything.
She can have any guy or whatever and has all this money and like, oh, my followers, I need to win. It's not even really. I just like all this shit. And then even like when she loses, she said, "You made me lose followers." Like I think that's the whole point. Like Tori lost her mother, which call it Sam was losing her mind basically, and then you're talking about like I lost followers. Like I think I think she's supposed to be a shallow, like annoying girl. Like it's not supposed to be denser than that.
Yeah, I mean, I still feel like I think that we're both being bitches to each other, but I don't really take that as a bad thing because like if you're gonna be a bitch to somebody, you're probably gonna expect they're gonna be a bitch back to you. It seems like equivalent in that sense. But then also also like what Shaq is saying as well. It's like, I mean, like these two, Sam and Tori, are having their own issues that they're going through, and then for Zara not to really have something that crazy. I mean, it was kind of wild, like especially like when she was saying like I'm in your hometown and everybody's cheering for me. It's gotta suck. It does suck. So, I don't know. I liked her more than Axel, but
I don't even know what to say about these characters because now that I look at Wolf, like how the fuck did the tournament works? I was like, yeah, I'm surprised Sarah is not mentally more fucked up because how brutal Wolf's training is to Axel and other students. Like this is really just bone breaking techniques, and it's clearly have an effect on Axel. And Sarah's like, yeah, no, I'm a popular girl. I was like, I'm still figuring how does that work.
Well, the thing about I think part of it also comes down to Zara being played by an actual influencer that is like a 14-time world champion and all that. Right, which is like that was like my only thing with. Yeah, it's like I had to believe that she was losing to Peyton List. So
yeah, I mean, I also have the fact that the only exception that Sensei Wolf did not treat as poorly is this girl compared to everyone else in the dojo. Was like,
you could also argue being rude to a guy is a lot more accepted than being rude to a girl.
Because we've seen Sam saw this where it's like Axel's a big like hulking figure, and like he's their ace in the hole, this, that, and the third, and like they
said he was like undefeated.
Wolf hitting him and shit like that. So it is what it is. Like, also, I don't think they would show a dude abusing a girl. I don't think they would show that. Like, so.
Yeah.
You have to also think about it, like the methodology and shit. She fed into the methodology. He didn't. Like that's the thing, because like he thought he was good enough. He said he didn't. You remember he had the little. He thought like Sam liked him or said he didn't really. She definitely fed into being a villain more than he did. Now he was just like kind of like the tool of them. I would say like you're a super, what you call a tall, muscular karate guy, and you follow orders. But she was like,
it's like they treat him like a robot. Like
yeah,
they pretty much say that.
She was definitely more. She definitely was like, yeah, it's bad, but I like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
yeah. I mean, also too, it's like, I mean, these characters are like, at the end of the day, they're viewed as obstacles for the main characters to overcome and all that stuff. So, I guess I'm just not really seeing that perspective. Like I do feel like they achieved their purpose.
Yeah. Especially I'm not thinking about Zora, because you remember Tori had beef with Sam. Tori thought Sam was like the prissy girl from like Money that just does karate and takes niggas' boyfriends. That is legit what Zara is.
Yeah.
That is legit what Zara is. I have all this money for my endorsements. I'm pretty or whatever. I'm gonna take your man. Like that's what she was trying to push on Sam. Now Sam was doing that. I'm not gonna. She wasn't trying to do that, but she was doing that. But Zara was like, I know I'm doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay, that still doesn't change the fact that I was like, that certainly is a character that was does not act like what I expected.
I guess I don't understand what are you expecting?
Because when I saw Wolf as like training methods, I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna beat the shit out of Busty, even though they did really well. I was like, and then Sarah literally just lost to Tori does badly, and Wolf literally said nothing. I was like, what the fuck?
The thing is, the whole thing. So this is what I'm talking about, the love boost. She was whooping Tori when Tori mentally wasn't in this. Tori the entire time.
Okay, no, you don't know. Okay, that's not what. So basically, I'm so confused. Why did Wolf treat her so differently compared to Axel and other students?
Because we treat boys differently to girls.
Okay, that's not okay. I literally listened to the fucking where Wolf came from. I was like, you sure? That's not. He's like from Hong Kong, fucking China. I was like, okay, you got that in reverse.
Dude,
I'm from Hong Kong. I was like, you're not gonna.
You have to also believe, like Axel. They show many times where Axel doesn't want to do the stuff he doesn't want to do. He wasn't 100% in. She was 100. Zara was 100% in. Zara believed everything that they were feeding.
Whatever.
I gotta go tougher on you. I gotta tougher on you because you don't like Axel never really like Axel believed in his own obviously karate, but he didn't want to hurt people. He was like so it kind of seems like they went harder on him because he wasn't truly a part of the little iron draft. Like even towards the end, they wanted him to cheat, and he just refused to cheat. And he lost. So. And then there's a line where Iron Wolf said, "You dishonor your dojo," and then he finally sticks up to him and says, "No, with this, that, and the third." Like basically showing that Axel actually was just he was really the tool. I don't think Axel liked them, so I think that was the whole purpose. Like,
what? Whatever. I don't want to argue anymore.
What I'm saying is,
okay, just move on. Just move on.
I kind of
just agree to disagree. Like it's just going on circle.
I can stop. We'll just move on. All right. Okay. Why don't we go back to the beginning? So this is everything happened post Kwon's death. Honestly, my only thing I could really comment on is like they didn't really like Kwon's death didn't really do that much to everybody. I mean, it affected people a little bit, but like not as much as I thought it would have. Like it's like he only died a month ago, so that was like one of my only things like from the beginning of this of the part. There are some coping mechanisms, like especially like mostly from Danny's side, because he's acting like nothing happened, but he's just focusing on his company and all that stuff, acting like it's all over, and all that stuff, which is fair. That's a one way to react. But then obviously, Johnny still wants to continue the Sekataikai and all that. But then when they actually have a conversation with Terry and they talk about the new plan and everybody's on board with the tournament coming back, it's just like, yeah, it's just like it's a lot that's happening 1 month after the death of somebody from Cobra Kai. So it's like that was my only thing related to that. I felt like maybe it's a bit too soon, or maybe it was a bit difficult to believe that everybody is like sane of mind and all this stuff with something that's pretty traumatic that happened. But once that kind of dust settles, they have a lot more focus, especially in the first 2 episodes. They have more focus on the characterization since the tournament hasn't started yet. So you have stuff like Sam and Tori. They're training. Tori does not want to come back. She feels like everything has everything bad in her life has happened because of her. And this season uses a lot of elements of reflecting back of things that were from previous seasons and bringing it into this final part. Makes sense since it's the end of the show. So it's like, you remember when you used to do this, you remember when you used to do that, and all that stuff. So it makes sense when it's here. But, when there's like the motivation of, I just really want to kick Zara's ass, and that gets Tori to like kind of appreciate through training Sam and really wants to beat Zara's ass, is like what gets her back into joining the tournament again. Along with the conversation with Kreese, that like he's always been very proud of her, and like how she's like she can easily like do very well and win this tournament if she puts her mind to it. But yeah.
I mean, those are like really good stuff. I was like, oh, finally, they gotta respect each other, even though some boundaries issue. I was like, to be honest, I really hate that sometimes Cobra Kai was like, hey, let's just argue a bunch of it, and then it's like, finally make it. I was like, okay, at least the last 5 episodes is actually about making things up. It's like, yeah, they're just like, they actually like a lot of growth and redemption. It's like, and then they just explore like, oh, Miyagi-Do, what does Miyagi-Do means and Cobra Kai means. And I was actually kind of concerned because I feel that they got rushed because there's so much groups, and then there actually is a quite natural conclusion. Just like, oh, Miyagi-Do just give up and just give up to Cobra Kai.
Yeah, and honestly, like that was a cool thing too. It's like, if you want to learn a little bit more on offense, come to Cobra Kai. If you want to learn a little bit better on your defensive side, go to Miyagi-Do. But there's kind of like a symbiotic relationship between the two dojos, and that's pretty cool.
I mean, I think we definitely saw it in the last episode where we saw the students training at doing like the wax on stuff in the Miyagi-Do dojo, and then like the same students at the Cobra Kai. So it's kind of like I think it was a symbiotic relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
And this is, and I think it'll bring it, because like for example, UFC, like there are people like you train one style for like striking and then one for like grappling, and it's like different, like not a dojo, but like a fighting thing or whatever. So it's like, I think it's like a good strategy. So I think it makes sense.
So. What could be easier is probably going a little bit by character slightly, just to obviously there's a lot less focus on the bigger cast, since it seems a little bit more focused on the actual the real fighters in the tournament, and and obviously the 2 senseis. So I guess like we can go. Sam is probably a little bit easier. She makes the choice to like, especially like when they were losing so badly after Robbie gets his leg broken, and like the score is like crazy, and she has to go up against Zara, or like Tori, and there's just no way she could win, and she just chooses to quit afterwards, which is something Danny. Obviously, she doesn't feel good about that, but Danny, after having a dream, which this was another weird thing, is like because they used the AI deepfake of Mr. Miyagi.
Jeez, yeah, that was
and used like his like voice AI as well. So it's like that was a bit noticeable, but like
that was so obviously nostalgia based. It was like okay, and then it was like, and then how they do it was like, oh, here's an AI generated person. It was like, yeah, sure. It was like, yeah, it's like, then of course, the annoying thing that I realized this season is like they just have a lot of like flashbacks from previous stuff. I was like, actually, I believe you.
I mean, it makes sense. I thought it made sense because it's the ending of the show. Wanting to wrap things up. I think there was like too many of them, especially during the Miguel versus Axel fight. I understand it, completely understand it. I just think there was maybe a bit too many flashbacks, but outside of that, it was still a pretty good fight overall. I don't think it detract from the fight scene at all, but that was just something okay. Like, but I can also understand too putting stuff from season 1, 2, 3.
Not just and also the Karate movie
and the Karate movie as well.
Yeah.
I actually, so I kind of just, I actually like the flashback specifically in the fight scene. I liked a lot, and it's like because you see, like it's like kind of sums up the entire story of Miguel, and no,
I definitely understand that.
Like
yeah, I mean,
like the little the flip thing he did over season 3 when Kyler, like when he came off of his back getting broke, like it was pretty good. They showed like when he tried to fight Dimitri, and he did that tornado kick that fucked up his back, but he was able to I thought it was good. I thought it was good in season play.
Yeah. No, I definitely like I only saying it more as like the frequency is like there's like so many that were happening in a row. But at the same time, I also understand this is the last season of the show. It makes sense to do a lot of homages or callbacks to previous things to show that it's ending. But yeah, the AI is better than the Alien Romulus one. Yeah, I guess
yeah,
that's true.
I haven't seen that movie. Is that movie bad?
Don't fuck that movie. Don't kill. I'd rather kill someone that actually suggests to watch that movie again.
I've never seen it.
Okay, people will tell you it's good or something, but I'm gonna be honest. I fucking hate that movie.
Yeah. Let's see. But obviously, like as we're saying, bad AI aside, essentially the thing that it's a little weird because he's having a nightmare. So like the two of them are fighting together, just some skeletons and all that stuff. And the conversation is essentially like, you didn't tell me. Like there's so many things, so many questions I had before you died, and like all these things that don't make sense. Or it's like we're not going to win. Things like he's just blurting out a lot of the pent up emotions that he has. And then Miyagi tells him like, what did I tell you before? Win or lose it doesn't matter. And then that's when he wakes up, and then when he has this conversation with Sam, who says that she wants to not participate in the tournament anymore, and he says, well, that's great, because honestly what Miyagi used to teach me was how to fight, but it's not really just for the concept of how to fight. Is when to know how to stop is always the hard part. And that's something that he was never really able to do. But for Sam being able to be, willing enough to know that, okay, this is, I cannot continue further. Like I have to stop at some point is something that he's proud of. So,
yeah, I mean, that's fine.
And then her background stuff that's going on, obviously, going to college where she wants to go. There was all these conversations. Maybe she'll be in the same college as Miguel. Maybe she goes to a college that's maybe 30 miles away from that, but still in the area. But then just like, I really want to just explore the world, go to Japan and all that stuff. And obviously there's like that whole thing with the family, Sam, Miguel, in terms of like, They should do. Obviously, like she goes off to Japan. Everybody's supportive in the end.
And then also Miguel
Mhm.
deferred his college or whatever to like go with her for that summer because she was going early. So that was
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
nice.
So yeah, Sam didn't get too much, but it's a good ending for her.
Yeah.
Let's see. We could do Tori next. So Tori. So we kind of talked about initially. So after the fight and all this stuff, and she wanted to quit as well.
Yeah. I mean, fun fact about the fight because I noticed it a lot. To be honest, I keep rewinding the fights. I literally just keep looking at how often characters just stand there and do nothing. It's really often, honestly. Whenever they do the flying kicks, there's like 3 seconds for each of the 2 or 3 seconds, and one of the characters does nothing. That's like something I noticed during a lot during the season.
Well, I mean, like these are so like some of them like are using stunt doubles. Like they're not like outside of Zara and like Quan, they're not like martial arts trained, so the fights are
No,
gonna
I
be
know, but it's just distracting when you just realize, oh, character just standing there and just letting themselves get hit.
Well, sometimes they're only that amount of time because it's slow mo.
Which
they
was
did use a lot
slow.
of slow mo, like the shit was the Matrix. They did do that, but
It's not like that level, but there are some slow mos when they do those. Hold on, let's kind of go through some comments because I've been skipping some of them. These episodes see Johnny Lawrence as one of the best redemption stories. I agree.
I mean, yeah. So his redemption story's been built up for like 6 seasons. So
I think that Miguel was going to end up in the fight somehow, but having him join Cobra Kai and Johnny taking back Cobra Kai was fantastic. Yeah, honestly, I didn't even think about that.
I was like that. Well, that was actually a fantastic way, and the show is called Cobra Kai, not Miyagi Do.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of seen that because
I didn't watch the trailer, by the way, so maybe it was
there. I seen the trailer, the fucking Karate Kid Legend shit.
No, did y'all see? There was a rumor. Did you see? I think it was when he was in a coma. He had a thing where he was fighting in a tournament and he had his black gi on.
Yeah,
people were saying that was like an Easter egg for when he like the finale or something. Which I don't know if that was true. It was like a thing. It was when he was in a coma. It was like a nightmare coma or something. And I saw that clip.
Is that because I have no idea, because I'm gonna be honest, that show the Karate Kid Legend script was written in 2022, like 2 seasons before the show ended.
I could see that being like a potential foreshadowing.
I doubt it, especially the writers of that movie give me a lot of concern. Apparently no one in Cobra Kai actually worked on that movie.
No, I'm not. That's not on. So I was talking about when I was talking about what happened in season 3. That's what I was.
Season 3. I thought you were talking about
in season 3. Mike had Miguel had a dream when he was like knocked out, and he was back in the Cobra Kai. It was like a tournament. Like that's people were saying that was like an Easter egg for like what would happen towards the end, and like he was going to win or so. That's what people were saying. I don't know, but
from season 3. I mean, it's potentially
maybe.
I mean, the creators are still relatively the same throughout, right? Or do they ever switch the management of Cobra Kai?
No, I mean no. For Cobra Kai's show is consistent, but the next movie, the next Karate Kid movie has no one involved from Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
So they have Ralph Macchio in it. So does he? So did this just shit just not happen? Did he? Because I know it's Jackie Chan. And
Ralph Macchio is in the trailer, but I don't think Johnny Lawrence will be there, which is gonna be fucking. Which is I'm gonna be honest, I want to see how they got justified, and I'm gonna be honest. I saw the credit of the writer, and I did not think he's gonna do it. Like what the fuck is this guy wrote?
So the only thing I can say about the way that Johnny's character ends, we're not going to talk about his characterization yet. So we're going to save that probably towards the end of the review. But like basically he used the money to buy like an actual house for his family and all that stuff. So I don't know if they're gonna say that he retired. I mean, he's also serving as a teacher again.
No, and then he also said he's working really closely to Ralph. Daniel.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
yeah. I'm curious, like, what's gonna happen, but yeah, I don't think his name is in the credits. The actor.
No, he's not. That's why I was like, what the fuck? And I'm gonna be honest, this movie is in production 2022, so there's no way they already know what the last 2 seasons are. Yeah.
I'm interested to see how that goes out. It's interesting though, because like, I mean, when was the last Karate Kid movie? It's gonna be before Cobra Kai, right? The last one before.
It's like the next Karate Kid, so it's starring Hilary Swank from Hilary Swank. It's in 2010.
No, I mean, like, have there been Karate Kid movies during the Cobra Kai era? I don't think so.
Nope, there's no.
Yeah, so this is kind of an interesting thing. Like, what's gonna be Karate Kid post Cobra Kai?
My whole thing with this is like, so I understand. Does anybody know the timeline? Because it has Ralph Macchio and it has Jackie Chan.
3 years after Cobra Kai. That's 3 years
after. I guess these are questions for when the movie comes out. But it's like, does the little kid, does he know about the Sekai Taikai? Does he know like because like it was like at least the one part was like on national TV or something like that when they were in Barcelona. So it's like, we'll see.
Yeah, I like that they acknowledged this, that Johnny was actually gave Daniel's kudos at the end of Karate Kid Part 1, but it's Kreese's actions at the start of Part 2 that led to Johnny on this downward spiral for decades.
Defrosted Robot, I looked into that. Apparently the Hilary Swank shit, apparently the whole time they wanted Ralph Macchio again, but he was filming another movie, so they put her in it, and like didn't she have the worst Karate Kid? The little female.
I have no idea. I haven't watched all the movies first. So
apparently she wasn't even supposed to be there. They wanted Ralph Macchio, but he was filming another movie, so they had to like take another thing. And apparently Pat, I think they said Pat, whatever, the guy that plays Mr. Miyagi, I can't really say his last name. He only signed on for the third movie because he thought Ralph Macchio also signed on. So,
no, the fourth movie, but yeah.
The fourth movie, yeah. Walton Goggins was in that movie.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. I mean, they actually said, because behind the scenes is so stupid, because they were like, oh, actually, Hilary Swank is gonna distract everyone in the fucking show. I was like, dude, just literally put it in a fucking background. That's all you need.
One thing I thought was a missed opportunity, they didn't acknowledge Ed Asner's death.
Shit, right. That's Johnny's dad.
He was still alive in the show, but the dedication might have been nice.
Oh yeah, they have him as his dad. They never remember that.
Yeah. Kwan's death was mostly just a wake-up call for Kreese. Yeah, because like really the main thing that it was affecting was Kreese. But that's back when we were talking about. I don't know if Kwan's death really affected everybody that would have like.
No, not really. I mean, it's kind of weird because they're like, oh, Kwan died. And then I was like, it's gotta be sad. I was like, dude, I don't think there's something you can just brush off if a person died on national TV. Like, imagine, imagine that's a fencing match and some person died on national TV. I was like, so I think that's gonna be a lot of stuff happening.
From what I've heard, that's like especially with boxing and like people have maybe not in America, but I know in other like countries, like they've like televised boxing people and people have died in boxing. So
yeah. So I'm curious to I mean, we'll see. I don't know if we're going to talk about the movie when it comes out, but
maybe I'm gonna watch it. Rewatch all the movies first.
Yeah, I'd have to rewatch them. I've only seen part 3, like part 1 to 3, and then the Jaden Smith one.
Oh God, I need to watch the Jaden Smith ones, especially. I hate it. I mean, technically, you can actually argue that you watch Cobra Kai, so you don't have to watch all the other movies. But
I see the clip every other week. It's like where Jaden gets his ass kicked so badly because it's used as memes now. It's really funny.
They was on his ass though. I'm not
They
gonna
were
lie.
on his
They were on his. That looked bad. I'm not.
Which is-
I don't even want to be here. He said I don't even want to be here. I'm getting my butt whooped. I just wanted the cute little Asian girl. That looked bad. They was whooping. Like it's one thing when you're because he was.
I
Also
hate it. Yeah.
he was also getting jumped. Like it's one thing if you're
Nah,
fighting.
he was eating pavement. I'm not gonna lie.
If you're fighting one person that knows martial arts and you don't know, that's bad. If you're fighting 5 or 6 and they're jumping you, like I don't know, like what did I do to deserve this?
Oh.
But yeah,
Oh.
yeah. So that's some talks about the next movie. I think it comes out in May, right? So later this year.
Let me see. Let me check it first. Yeah, it's this year. Yeah, May, like at the end of May. God.
Yeah, it's around my birthday. I
Happy
remember that.
happy early birthday. Trust me, I don't really have a lot of faith in this movie because the people who worked on Cobra, no one worked on Cobra Kai worked on this movie. That's the thing.
That is curious.
And
yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be kind of concerned because they did not have the wife actor in the movie or the kid. Like Sam's Sam has a brother. So like, where the fuck are they?
Yeah, I'll have to wait and see. But yeah, back to Tori. So Tori does go back into the fight, and all that stuff. And so so because Sam forfeited, now it's just Tori versus Zara. Moving forward, and they're training with everybody. All the friends are training together. And one of the big moments for her was like when she's talking to the LaRussos about like I don't know, like what did I do to deserve all this kindness and all this stuff, and it essentially is like
you keep pushing.
You kept pushing through it. Maybe not all of your methods were great, but like you still put in all that work, and everything that you put into the sheet is like something that everybody can appreciate. So yeah, and again, my only comment on the fight with Zara and Tori is just that you kind of see that Reina has to really nerf herself just so that Peytonless can win. But outside of that, it's like it makes sense for the sake of the story. But
that's what I'm saying. Like thematic, I was going to say thematically it makes sense because
it's like what do you want me to do? You want me to stop this like just twirling tornadoes? No. What am I supposed to do then? It's like what kind of advice are you going to give me? It's not that goes to the kiss and all this.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
So I think the whole thing with Tori there is like she just needed like security, and like she was going to get secure in multiple places. Like at first it was Cobra Kai, and she found friends, but then that broke when she tried to murder Sam, and then she went back to Cobra Kai, and she was with Robbie or Miguel. She's always been looking for security because she's never had it in like her home life. With like her mom, like and like her having to work jobs and doing like weird because there was the whole thing with the that's why I think like the whole thing with her and Kreese, where Kreese was like trying to do good by her because I think Kreese saw a little bit of Johnny in her, and like how. So I think that was pretty good. So I think whenever Tori found like I guess this is gonna sound corny, but like her center, like she was actually gonna be like a really good fighter. So
yeah. Yeah, so that's mostly it. Like once she wins the fight and all that stuff, on her side of the tourney, then it's just basically just getting ready to set up for Miguel versus Axel, and then supporting his side, supporting her sensei Johnny as well for his fight against Wolf. So that's mainly it. And then like afterwards, after the fight is all over, she does get to have that life. She gets to have her own life, similar to what Zara has, like how she can use her skills to go around the world, get all this money for it, help people get better at karate and all that stuff. And she can do that side by side with Robbie as well. And that's basically the ending of her story as well. Speaking of which, we can go to Robbie.
If we can talk about this, Robbie's never. That's funny. Robbie's never won a karate tournament.
No. Yeah.
Now the first one, he was it? Miguel cheated, right? It is what it is, right? The second one, I guess you could say like he won in the school, but that's because he didn't. And then season 4, he let Hawk win. Hawk was not going to win, but whatever. Because he got that nerf when he saw he's like, I'm turning bad. Kenny's saying this. He got that. That's a nerf. That's a nerf. And then
season 5, that's not a fight.
Not a tournament. And then season 6, he lost again, but he was winning. But then, or he was turning the tides. He wasn't necessarily winning, but he got hurt again. So
yeah, he just have to learn that. Okay, winning is not. You don't have to win. There's always something you can appreciate in life and stuff.
Yeah, and that's honestly. I mean, obviously, like
I think that was.
Mm-hmm.
I think because on what Unity said, I think that was like really impactful when he had the line. He's all like, "Karate gave me my friends, it gave me my girlfriend, it gave me my dad back." Like he doesn't like it would have been. I think he's like it would have been nice to win, but like everything I've gained from it, and this is like obviously like I think it's the different mentalities because like the first style he learned was Miyagi Do, so like he has a little what is it a better not understanding but like value on like the smaller things in life, like the more basic things, which I think is nice. So
and honestly, like with this whole season, because like just remembering from part 1, part 2, and part 3, I mean mentally he was like out of it completely for most of it, especially after Tori left and went to Cobra Kai. He was losing all of his fights even back then, but then he did gained like the confidence again towards like season 2, part 2, like when they had the when he fought Quan. That would be his win, I would say. And technically he did like win and beat Quan like for good and beat Cobra Kai. Honestly, it's just that because of the Russian group having the drugs that got Cobra Kai to go back into the tournament out of default. So technically, he did win a fight, but that it's just like semantics as to why like he didn't actually win, technically speaking.
Fair.
But then you go into this part. He is still kind of like teetering between like because I still think the AI, the VR system thing.
What the fuck was that shit?
I thought that was goofy.
No, I think the whole point was that
I understand the kids are smart, but
yeah,
I mean, like you can't really use something like this. You can't make something like this.
We don't know. Like MIT, Cal Tech,
MIT
like,
guys.
they might be geniuses, bro. The Binary Brothers, they might be geniuses, bro. I don't know.
I just thought that was silly.
I was like, you literally program how the fuck the Axel fight, and apparently. I was like, Miguel was able to learn all the Axel moves or something. I was like, what the fuck? I literally did not understand how the Super Machine works.
And then they do talk about it like when after like Robbie was doing well in the second round. Then there was like a pivot for Axel because like Axel then changed his form, which is something that they didn't program. Because they didn't know that he could do.
Yeah, so this is like because I know a little bit of the AI stuff because I was doing this with the work, but like you can teach a neural network to learn stuff based on images and videos. So if they know how to do this at 17, 18, I don't know if they got the footage of Axel's fights, which is online because it's in a tournament, and you study his movements, then they technically could train a neural network to learn his moves. And that's why the style switching, because they don't have data on that. They wouldn't be able to learn that shit. So that's why it would be a thing. But if they're that smart, they don't need to go to college. I'm like that's
No,
Yeah.
yeah, that was. I was
Because,
watching this. I was like,
'cause, yeah,
can everyone just invent this technology?
I don't know, because like basically what Shaq is saying is like this kind of thing does exist like in the real world. Like if you can take a video that already exists and you see somebody's patterns and movements and stuff, you can take the data of what the person is doing and you can simulate it enough into like into your VR system or something like that. I mean, I'm pretty sure technically isn't that like how video games like do motion capture kind of stuff
yeah, a little bit
as well?
Yeah, but like,
Yeah. It's like
there's
it's
2 million.
possible. It's just the fact that they can do it in the high school age.
So I know, especially like for the NBA, like for the because they for not NBA 2K for 2K when they wanted to do they brought dunkers in with the little thing, and like the dunkers would like simulate their dunk packages. So like in the video game, if you wanted to do like a dunk that this person does, you could unlock it or something. So I saw that because I follow some dunkers that like basketball, so I know like that's not martial arts or anything, but it's like a physical movement in the sport. So I think it's
right.
Yeah.
But like he's also right in the sense that like it exists, but like if these guys can do it themselves, then like you don't need to go to college. You're set for life.
Yeah, I mean, and
if
the
you
fact
can simulate karate. So
like 18 years, I was like, okay, and then it was like, oh, actually, this is not that deep. I was like, what the fuck? Then shouldn't like fucking Terry should have that technology? This is insane.
Eli and Dimitri may as well have been Warren and Buffy at this point with their technology.
I know that. I know the.
I mean, they were bitchless and friendless for 14 years. For 14 years, I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, Dimitri's the
God,
girlfriend.
did you see the thing when Dimitri was getting Dimitri had his girl. They was in the bathroom and he came out. He didn't even know what was happening in the fight. That Dimitri, I gotta respect that. Like, I'm sorry, I have to respect that somehow.
That Axel. To be honest, I'm gonna be honest. That whoever the fuck the counter Sensei Wolf, I was like, I need to double check what the fuck did you just say when it comes to Chinese. Because he actually said a few Chinese words, and I was like, what? Can you say that again? I was like, oh, that's what you said. Can you recast that? Can you recast this actor? I'm so sorry.
Talking about Louis Tan?
Yeah. He could not say a fucking Chinese word. It's just literally just one word.
I think they got hyped because
Kai Shi was like Kai Shi. It was like, what the fuck you just said? That means begin in English if you're wondering.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think people were hyped when they saw him because he was in the Mortal Kombat movie. He played Cole Young, so like he actually has
Cole Young, of course.
Yeah, no, Cole Young was the American, obviously, but like I think a lot of people were hype. His acting wasn't really that good. I agree with, and his accent was ass. But I think the whole thing was he actually knew martial arts, though. So I think that was.
Yeah, I mean that's really a selling point. Because outside that he's from the UK and American, so definitely not Chinese.
Insane. And then you just like has this because Larry mentioned his backstory. Like I'm from like fucking somewhere China, teach in Hong Kong, and then I was like, okay. And then you said the words like there was like Kai Shi. Like Kai Shi was like, and then I was like, because I know how this pronounced. I was like, it should be Kai Shi, and I'm gonna be honest, it shouldn't even said in Mandarin. It should be said in Cantonese. If this fucker is in Hong Kong. Yeah. So when I was watching this, I was like,
our battle will be legendary.
Tyler, yeah. To be honest, Tai Lang is also a Chinese word, but
yeah. No, I mean like. We had this conversation in the last podcast, like about like Asura and all that stuff, and like how there's saying a bunch of Hindi words and like Indian words that are not pronounced correctly. But I mean that's we also talked about like Avatar.
Avatar.
Like Avatar, yeah. But yeah, it makes sense. I get it.
That was like the main thing that throws me. I was like, what the fuck did you just said?
So I guess we could talk about Robbie next. Right, we were talking about Robbie. Like when his leg got broken and like the way he was reflected, and again, like honestly, like Danny, his speeches have improved a lot because like that was a really good speech. When he was saying like, it's like I'm down. Who cares? You've been down before. Get yourself back up. You've gotten all these things through karate. You've been beaten down. You've got through all this, and then obviously it reflects back when like Robbie himself says it to Johnny when his leg is broken, but he can still see the positive out of that, of how much of his life has been great, despite losing is really good, and I thought it was done really well. And then obviously, it's with a broken leg, he's more relegated to like a glorified cheerleader, but it is what it is. There's not what he still got to have some good things for Tori and Miguel and Johnny. So, and like even he still gets the chance to go around the world with Tori, because because he broke his leg, he was still on the like one of the highest championships and was like up there, and his leg will heal up one day and then he'll be good to go. And he do all that. So yeah, it was a good ending for both of them. Also, semi-related, but congratulations to Tanner Buchanan and Mary Mauser. They just got engaged. Yeah,
they got engaged.
I'm engaged. My fault.
Yeah. So congratulations to you two. Robbie didn't get as much to do, I'd say, in this part overall, but
they need to focus. So yeah.
But they had to focus on the other guys. So that we kind of talked about pretty much the Wolf team essentially. If you wanted to go a little bit more into Wolf himself.
No, I don't. I'm gonna be honest. All of them are just so one note. I just don't even know what to say. I'm gonna say this. I don't think they should be final season material.
But so one note I don't think is like
for final season material. It should be like.
So I got a question. Like, so did you like the original Avatar: The Last Airbender?
I never seen it.
He didn't watch it.
He's never seen it.
Yeah,
because
watch it.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest here. People told me the last episode of Avatar is bad. Well, that's what happened.
So the movie is bad, but the animation, like that's like one of the greatest like cartoon.
No, the last episode of Avatar, it's bad.
I don't know.
I'm not gonna say anything. So I was
I've heard the people who said that. I don't agree with that, but again, I don't want to go into that.
Oh yeah.
I know how it ends. They have energy bending out of nowhere. I know how it ends. I saw Death Battle.
Yeah. So the idea. So what
I was leading into like
talking about Fire Lord Ozai specifically. Yeah.
I was trying to say like Fire Lord Ozai is a big bad villain. He's been built up multiple seasons. He doesn't have a redemption arc, but he's still a great villain because of how powerful, strong, and how actually dark and evil his plan is. Like now, how Aang was able to beat him, that's what a lot of people have an issue with. I'm not going to go into that. Watch the show. You're going to figure out because Aang should have just killed him, but he didn't. Whatever. But I think like you can have evil characters. Like I'm just evil. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, I mean I'm just saying because like Fire Lord also is built up from season 1. Like the guy who controls everything, and then
I mean, so the other thing too, though, is like what's important. He's still one note in the definition that, like, yeah, a lot of the characterizations we get out of him is like what we hear other characters say. Oh, this is what he's like. This is what he does. This is how he terrorizes this city. This is what he does to these people, and all that stuff. So you hear all of these things. Season 3, you get to see that. You get to see his ruthlessness. You get to see how he treats his children. You see how
even the flashbacks and his plan, like his plan.
The flashbacks and the plan.
Yeah,
so he's still one note, but like he's still justifying his ruthlessness. Like he's described as this thing, and he's showing that thing as well. So it's like, so like it's not like, for example, like if you like, let's say he's all this bad stuff, and you see him and he's goofy. Or he's nothing like what he's been described. Then it would be like a tonal shift. That'd be terrible if that were to happen. Because you still put up like a big fight with Aang and the Avatar.
No, I completely get it. I just think that there's if I'm a final season material, I'll be like, this guy should have a lot more build up than just this season. So I was.
To be fair, Terry Silver, what was it? I think that's why I kind of like the season because what they entered Terry season 4, right?
Yeah, I think Terry can be a season 3. Okay, he's built up in season 3, and then he is introduced in season 4 again.
Yeah, because I think so. Because like the whole shit with you remember Kreese messing with him and like saying he's soft, and then we get that scene when he's on the piano and he's like, and then he finally locks back into his craziness. I think like I think that was like what is it like I think they obviously not as good, but I think they explored some of the stuff he was doing.
Yeah.
Like also
I'd say-
season
I'm-
5 was kind of the highlight of his like his crazy shit, but
Yeah, I'd say like if like I know Terry's like old, so like he can't be like the muscle anymore. So like if he had, but I guess it would have been nice if he maybe if the Wolf group was like established in an earlier season or something, then you can have a little bit more to them because like I think as if I'm not mistaken, they're introduced in the season itself.
This season.
yeah,
Yeah, so like that's like where the thing is like so Terry could still be your overarching thing because he is there from season 3 onwards, but like the Wolf group itself being this last group, it's like
so basically I think
the other thing too is like you can't really
the whole thing because they announced like because season 5 basically like he destroyed the Cobra Kai name. Nobody really likes Terry. Fuck him up. So I like he kind of just like this Iron thing is like really just a facade to push like his agendas and like his influence. I think that's what he was saying. So
Yeah, so
this
they're
is
like,
a thing
yeah,
that
that's
you
yeah,
will
that's
know more.
what they're they're just it's just like I mean even if they are like even it's like even not only just like even if they are not like one note or something, even though I was like okay this shouldn't be final season material because this is just you literally just throw them not even the first episode of season 6, literally just part 2 of season 6. That's when you build them.
That was my thing too. Is like maybe because like honestly, Cobra Kai with Quan that had more setup because he was there from the first episode, of part 1.
Also, they had to do a flashback of
Yeah, that's
like we
true.
know that Kreese and Terry learned martial arts from somewhere. And this and the third, a flashback to when the little girl was a kid. I forgot what her name was. The Korean lady. I don't know. So,
yeah. Like,
what do you think of the little thing at the end where Chosen met her in Korea and she was happy? Like.
Oh right, we didn't. Talk about
I don't know. It's like it's nice. At the same time, it's like how do you know where does she live?
I guess it's just like her training dojo.
Yes.
Yeah. He didn't really get to do too much, I'd say, in the season overall. But like because he had a part of the thing had to do with him in love with somebody who doesn't love him the same way.
He was really just a joke. I'm not gonna lie. They really just made him kind of like a joke, like a meme. Like even the thing when him and the girl beat up that guy, the people at the bar, and he rides away on a scooter. Like he was really just a meme.
No, it's like because like he's so badass in season 3, and now he's just like so I just make him like more caricatures. No, it's like because his entire thing in this part is just I want a lover. I was like,
I mean, I'd say that's true for the season, to be honest. Because like he does that, and then he also has the, being the third mentor sensei, that gives advice here and there. But like, yeah, not too much to really say about Chosen. He's fine.
it's just
funny, but
it's just a bunch of storage wars. Like, it's so funny. It's like whatever.
I guess we could. So we did talk about Kreese's ending. So what about Kreese throughout the season?
I mean, I really like it. I really like it.
Yeah.
He's like redemption. I was like slowly realized his problem. It's like and he realized he could not like do anything to like prevent it, like to redeem himself. Like, and then he just saw he has to do something. So he has to try and actually do something worthwhile, and recognize his mistakes and stuff. Yeah, it's nice. I just do not like. I just find his last scene with Chosen hilarious. What the fuck was that?
I do find it funny. Do I think it makes no sense? I think it makes a little bit of sense, but I do get what you're coming from.
I love how Terry and stuff like, no, I was like, fuck up, motherfucker, just keep punching him. That's all you need to stop him.
Choke him out, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, we pretty much talked about Kreese. I think especially like how he took the Quan death and putting it all on himself. And then, so what about
I'm just kind of disappointed.
grand-
No one
grandfather?
acknowledged. Oh, I'm gonna be honest. I'm just kind of disappointed. No one acknowledges Chris's sacrifice at the final episode. I was like,
Yeah, that's the only thing I can, because like, and then you can't even. It's hard to do that too, because like the movie is not going to do that because the movie's set 3 years after the show. So like if Johnny doesn't learn about the death until then, it's like that's weird.
yeah. I was like, oh, just Terry. It's like, and it's all they say is just like, where's Terry? Oh,
They'll,
okay. And that's
they'll,
how the fucking
they'll never know what you sacrificed for them.
Jeez.
That's
Yeah.
actually true.
Yeah.
Let's see. Anything else you wanted to say about Kreese, Shaq?
Oh no, so I think the whole thing, he figured out what he was doing because he basically did the exact same thing 3 times. Like he did. First was Johnny was his champion, then it was Tori, then it was fucking Quan, and then Quan just had the worst because Quan actually died. So he finally saw after Quan's death like that I'm the issue, not my students, which it should have been like there from the beginning, but it just wasn't. So he tried his hardest to reconcile with Johnny, his first champion. He also talks to Tori a little bit, and then he does whatever he can to protect Johnny's like new family. So I liked it. So
And then like his path of redemption is like allowing Cobra Kai to be owned by Johnny again, with Miguel joining.
yeah, to teach the actual like way or
Yeah,
like,
that was a really nice moment as well. And honestly, we're probably going to talk about it more when we talk about Johnny specifically. But like, yeah, that entire scene in the hallway, where Johnny breaks down, and like, it's a good use of flashback too, in the sense of like showing what happened 34 years ago, like where he broke the trophy and like, you see, it means nothing now, kind of a thing, and all that stuff. So, and you can feel that. The only thing you could maybe question is like, is it too soon of like when these things are happening? But at the same time, the death of a kid on Kreese's soul is like, and he feels like he's going to die, or he should eventually kill himself.
yeah.
That's you.
I think the biggest thing was because the original person was Yoon. And we see that in chapter or in not chapter, season 6. Kreese like kind of like manipulates, like kind of stuff he did to Johnny and Tori, like manipulates, like it should be you, this, that, and the third. You should be the champion, this, that, and the third, like pushing this like propaganda upon Quan. And obviously it makes Quan better, but then also makes Quan darker and more like sadistic, like where he like took the cheap shot with the shoulder, or like when he's messing with like Robbie by trying like insinuating he did something with like Tori, like he just makes it like he isn't like just embodying like being a darker person. So because I think we all established Yoon was the best and Quan was like the jokester. Like he was talented, but he was like the jokester. So
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah. What about I forgot her name too, but like her grandfather sensei, she was teaching like the move of like to make a really more painful hit, and like he's getting the one student to do it to everybody because they all failed him for that incident. Like it's, and then she kills her grandfather with the same move essentially.
Yeah.
Because I think we get a little bit of this in what is it? I don't know if it's part 5 or part 6, where I think somebody ask her like did you like have you ever loved anybody, like have you ever anything like, but like, and she was like how I was when you were the greatest, when you're trained to be the greatest, you don't really have enough for emotions and stuff like that, and now she never really wanted that either, but her grandfather kind of pushed that on her to be the greatest, like, and not really having the balance between like the, you know, like they say work life, social life, or whatever. So we kind of see that by her killing her grandfather, she basically ended the old way of Cobra Kai, which like
because like essentially Kreese is like, he also talks about like how he is done with that lifestyle now. There's no point of it anymore. But like she has the opportunity to essentially do something the way that she wants to do it, not how somebody else or some generational thing or anything like that tells her what to do. So that was like something that affected her, and like she did take it into her own hands to actually now she can make her dojo the way that she wants it to be and not what somebody else tells her to do. So,
yeah, his grandfather, which is like at 200 years old at that point. Okay, oh.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she was in this. She was in part 2 a little bit more, obviously because of the whole Cobra Kai
Yeah,
tournament.
she's in season 5, so.
But then she disappeared for part 3.
No, she's only in the first episode, and then it's briefly in the last episode.
Yeah. Tori was like talking to her in part 2 about like, have you like the love thing? Yeah.
Love thing. Yeah, that's it.
But, and I think the best thing like for her is through Tori, because I think she sees a lot of herself in Tori. Through Tori and through Chosen, she sees that there's more important things than just being the best fighter. So.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So that I guess that would leave Danny.
Daniel?
He stopped being annoying. He finally understood that there are other ways in fucking Miyagi.
Yeah.
That's why I like him a lot in part. Like the whole thing, like him embracing, like him helping train. What is it? Johnny. Him like understanding, like him wearing the Cobra Kai gi, saying that like Cobra Kai never dies was like funny. Like he actually becomes likable instead of just like Mr. Miyagi wouldn't want this. I don't know. Miyagi wouldn't want this. I don't know what would Mr. Miyagi do. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, it's like
I do agree. And honestly, I feel like how they handled the reason why, because earlier in the season they were talking about how Miyagi killed somebody, and that was like really shaking him up and all that stuff, like recontextualizing everything he's thought about Miyagi. He would never do something like that. And then his grandmother, so his mother has a necklace from Miyagi's mother, and essentially what happened was like during the war, and his wife passed away. It got sold to a pawn shop or something like that, and then he went to go get it back. This guard was just giving him a hard time. Ended up killing him just to get getting the necklace back, essentially. But that was like the way that they explained that story. I felt like it was like, because honestly, it kind of happened randomly when they were having the conversation about Miguel getting Stanford. So then now the grandmother comes in. Oh, actually, I have this necklace because it was meant to be a gift for Samantha. That's what Miyagi told her to do one day. Give it to your daughter. But like, I guess it's the placement of where it was. It's like, oh, I forgot about the Miyagi subplot that he killed somebody.
I'm gonna be honest, that feels like something that they planned for Hillary Shaq to do. Yeah, that was like, oh, actually, it killed someone. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, oh, that feels like you want Julia Pierce to be there, and there's like this is the news because he has like knowledge that no one knows about Miyagi, and then Hillary Shaq just does not want to return or something. That feels like that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah. I think it was nice overall, but it's just like it was just like when I saw the scene, it's like, oh, we're like, because like they didn't talk about Miyagi like that for the entire part, and then it just happens like I think in part 4, episode 3 or 4 of the part 3. So like it just like came up. It's like, oh, we're resolving this plot line. But yeah, I guess narratively, Daniel had to learn his lesson about Miyagi's situation before getting the actual answer. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I also agree as well. Like the way, like his speeches, the way he gives influence and stuff like that, the way he actually respects the other dojos, like not just Miyagi-Do, but like the way that other dojos do things. even if you don't agree with the method, like he can still like give some value of like what that dojo does. So like when he does talk to Johnny for his fight, like he's like he completely ditches the Miyagi way because like that's just not something Johnny connects with. So it's like you just what you gotta do, you gotta beat his ass. You gotta put everything you got. There's no mercy, right? So you gotta stop being a pussy, that kind of shit. So so he's able to adapt based on that as well. So yeah, I do agree. Like I thought like this final part, and we also talked about his initial start of like at first just like ignoring what happened and acting like nothing happened, just focusing on his company, his life. Karate's done. Yeah, the only thing that was for me was just the how they go right back into the tournament again. Like
Yeah, no,
I
they
feel like
just
there's a little bit more of an adjustment period,
no,
especially with how because like with how like bottled up Danny was, because like like how he freaked out about like the bonsai tree and how it broke and all this stuff. So you felt like there was something here like in his like emotional point of view of something, but then like the tournament's back. Oh, cool.
yeah, it's
That
just
was
apparent.
one thing, but
Yeah, only one person doesn't want to return. So that's Daniel.
Hmm.
And how do you know that? Because Terry just tracked the guy down. I was like, okay, that was, and then he just strong armed him. Basically, just like, if you don't do, it, I gotta beat the shit out of you.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that was easy.
Fear does not exist in this dojo.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then and then we talked about the ending. I also liked it was nice that they did the there's a lot of references to Karate Kid and all that. So there's like it essentially just ends with Daniel like looking at the fly, and like it literally puts the scene from the movie of him using these chopsticks to catch the fly. But then obviously in Johnny's way, he just crushes it with his hands, no mercy. So yeah.
I was like, that's actually a good joke. I was like, oh, you're expecting to catch a fly. I was like, no, fuck yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a nice way to also end like their two different ideologies or just the way that they are. So it's really nice how honestly it's just nice. Like we've been talking about a lot of legacy stuff, a lot of like legacy things of something that happened. I know like Cobra Kai has been around for a few years now, so it's like this is not like new, but I do feel like it's done a pretty good job respecting the past or like getting people to understand like what happened in the past and acknowledge it for the newer viewers. So I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, compared to what Captain America 4, we got watch it. I'm gonna watch it tomorrow. I was like, holy shit. Do I want to? I was like, actually, that's gonna be a good laugh.
That was supposed to be my birthday gift, but niggas, because I asked Soham about this. This is another thing. I asked Soham what he heard about the movie because a lot of people were trashing it, and it's like it would at least be enjoyable. It's like like they're putting it like they're saying it's like Ant-Man Quantumania and Thor Love and Thunder. And Thor Love and Thunder I saw for free on Disney Plus, and that was the worst shit I've ever seen. But
Justice for John Walker,
yeah. I'm gonna tell you this because I don't know. Do you know? So the movie's budget is 375 million with they reshoot the movie 4 times entirely.
Yeah, and it's something you can definitely notice. Like,
and don't worry, their fucking reasons of reshoot is so hilarious. So I literally just have to mention it because it's just this stupid.
Yeah. What is unfortunate for birthday
no,
present.
I'm gonna be honest. It just have insecurity written all over the fucking movie.
Yeah. But yeah, that we'll pot on that episode on that movie on Wednesday. But with Danny, and we also talked about his ending. Like essentially, he serves as like the defensive coach. Johnny serves as the offensive coach, and they're kind of working together.
I like that at the end. He was like, "Oh fuck, okay, what advice to give Johnny?" It's like, no, just say whatever. Just say the Cobra Kai shit. Are you a pussy? No. Yeah. Then do it. it's like accepting his idea instead of just keep rejecting it.
So that brings us to Miguel.
Yeah,
Miguel or Johnny? Which one do you want to do?
Miguel.
I think we should say Johnny for last. Johnny definitely had.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think Miguel, because Miguel was also really good as well.
Yeah, he just.
So obviously, with this season in particular, Miguel was on fire I'd say the entire season practically, because Robbie was folding a lot, and Miguel had to pick up
he
the
had
slack.
they do this a lot in anime and like comics and stuff. The mental block thing where it's all like mentally, because some people can just kind of like go and do it, but like if I'm not mentally in the right headspace, I'm gonna just be worse at everything. And he was losing to people like the Irish team; they weren't even good. Like I don't know.
Yeah. No, that was great. Like for me, I was like, damn, this guy is cooked. I don't know what to tell you. No, because but every time Miguel came in, like especially like in part 2 when he had like the 2-on-1 fight and he like completely destroys both of them. Like the apex was there, and then it also hit so hard because like that happened, and then he had to go home because his mom was like under, like she could have potentially died. So it's like, yeah,
that's real shit too. Like,
real shit, and it's like it's something you can't control, and anything like that could happen. Even though she didn't die, she was perfectly fine. But it's just it really felt real, especially that whole conversation with Johnny as well on the airplane but ride back, reconnecting with him. Even though like he was mad at Johnny initially, especially because like Johnny was being an asshole on the plane ride too, and like how they also bonded over hitting the rich guy together. So that was really nice. But then you come into this part as well. Obviously, like because the Miyagi-Do champion was Robbie, so it's not like it's not like Miguel could have like tagged in and like try to win, because like the rule was for this team, the male captain has to win the fight. If they lose, the male side of that team lose. So the way that they get around that is that, well, Miguel is going to fight, just not for Miyagi-Do. He's going to fight for Cobra Kai because of Kwan's death. The male champion is gone. So that's why Miguel is joining Cobra Kai to take that place. And because Cobra Kai has no sensei anymore, because Kreese has left, and I really need to remember her name. But like she's also not there as well. She's also done with Cobra Kai. So that's why Johnny gets to go in and take Cobra Kai for himself. And the loophole with that is because they were former members of Cobra Kai, so they technically have allegiances to Cobra Kai. And that is like the thing that we did talk about like earlier. It's like, he has like Miyagi-Do. Like what Wolf was saying is like he's from Miyagi-Do, so he's going to focus on defense. So like just don't. So you have nothing to worry about. So that they didn't know Miguel was formerly from Cobra Kai.
Which is not like this. That just shows that the lack of like knowledge and research. Like you have Dimitri and Eli
fucking making AI virtual karate models to train against to beat Axel, and you didn't even look up or even ask that fact that, or look at any footage, because the All Valley tournament footage is online. Mm-hmm. You can see that the man Miguel was wearing a black gi. Like they didn't even make, like, they just shows you how like dumb they are. I'm not gonna lie, but whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, Miguel is on this team. We talked about his college endeavors and all that stuff. He's going to Stanford, and honestly, the thing that was like very important for him is honestly what happens after the fight. So I guess we can talk about the fight itself with Axel. So the first off, right off the gate, well, initially before Axel sees Miguel kissing Sam, and that obviously makes him upset. Sam had her letter to Japan saying that she was going to be there. Miguel, he wasn't really upset at all, because he wanted to give her like a surprise, but then seeing the letter, then they talked about it like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm just gonna. I saw the letter of your acceptance to Japan for college and all this stuff. Oh shit! I wanted to tell you after the tournament. No, it doesn't matter. It's all right. I'm just happy you're gonna do that and all that stuff. And so strong relationship stuff. And then his fight with Axel. First off the gate, Miguel is 5-0 on Axel, and then the round ends. Wolf is like pissed off at Axel. Then they're talking about the potential of losing everything and all this stuff. So then Axel takes he basically resets and he's better. He ends up taking the lead by knocking Miguel on his feet a few times just to bring it up like 20 points or something like that. Yeah. And then there was like the final round. Miguel needed the words of courage and wisdom and all this stuff to essentially get back and make the fight more even. And it was pretty much even throughout. There was a point where Miguel was prepping his roundhouse kick, and that was the one thing that Wolf did talk to Axel about. That
hit his spine to cripple him, which is crazy. Like breaking Robbie's knee or whatever, or like he's gonna heal from that. Crippling someone is like it's not like for a karate tournament. For a karate tournament.
Yeah, that was like okay, that is so cartoonish. It's insane. Yeah. And even then, I was like, does that count as disqualification if you shatter someone's spine? That's also another thing. I was like, someone would notice that's fucking cheating.
So the reason for the leg breaking Robbie's leg was okay is because they both quote unquote fell on the mat. So it's like they were tangled up. So there was no way to prove that he intentionally broke Robbie's leg and all that stuff. So that was the workaround for that. I don't know how you could work around intentionally breaking somebody's spine. Yeah. But yeah. So this was at this point, like, Terry and Wolf are both yelling because they see the roundhouse is getting prepped. So it's like, do it now and all that stuff. And
side note, because I be on TikTok. I know you guys don't be on TikTok. If you need to cheat to win, that means you weren't good enough to win. I'm tired of people saying that Axel got nerfed because he could have easily beat Miguel. Miguel was actually landing shots before that roundhouse was coming.
Yeah.
And the fact that Axel didn't hurt him just shows that Axel thought he could win on his own. Because that was what Axel said. Because when Axel said I can beat him. I can use my own thing to beat him. He obviously couldn't, right? But everybody, because there's a bunch of people in Cobra Kai TikTok that are obsessed with Axel. If you have to cheat, that means you couldn't win on your own shit. That means you're not better than me if you have to cheat. You know what I'm saying?
But I guess the other thing is just like liking Sam kind of is what is nerfing him a little bit. But even like I still agree with you in the overall sentiment that he's still landing hits on him. And initially, one of the things about Axel that was described is that he's never even taken a hit. Like he's never lost. He's never taken a hit prior to, this tournament and all this stuff. So these are the things that like Axel's being described as. So he's taken a few hits in this tournament. And yeah, he has a bit of a mental block because of having feelings for Sam and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, Miguel doesn't really have that bias on him. So he's still hitting him just like any other guy. So Miguel definitely has the skills to be like face to face in this matchup. So yeah. So I wouldn't say that he was like nerfed in that point of view. What else? You've occupied my thoughts.
That's actual Wolf. That's why I was like, oh, season 3, like finale season material was like, sure. Yeah, Wolf is definitely the guy with fucking finale season material.
Yeah, and honestly, like my thing is because like after this fight, it's revealed that whatever, even though Miguel won, Tori won. It's just that they didn't really their dojo didn't get the total points to win the entire thing because they actually tied with the Iron Wolf 180 to 180. So that means there has to be, because I was wondering, because like, wait a second, this is the second to last episode. Wouldn't this be the last episode if you're the two Cobra Kai kids won? No, because actually the last episode is for the fact that the senseis have to get in their final battle to determine who is the true winner of the Sekai Taikai. So
yay.
mean Wolf versus Johnny. So yeah, that was their, which honestly, I don't know if that's like a real rule, but or anything like that. I'm sure it is. Like if there is like a tie, like do senseis to actually fight each other and all that stuff.
No, people.
But I guess I'm wondering is like, what if a sensei is like 80 years old?
I think then it would be like there because there's multiple senseis usually in a dojo.
Usually there's multiple senseis.
But like I think it also set it up because of the point distribution thing. Because Miyagi-O did so bad, they were, even if they had won with their female and male champion, they wouldn't. I don't think they would have had more points than Iron Dragons. So
yeah,
because Cobra, because this is how it was. The Iron Dragons was the best dojo. Cobra Kai was like second or third, and then Miyagi-Do was like they barely sneaked into the playoffs. Like,
yeah,
because of the poor, because Robbie was ass. Like, and then they're not trusting Kenny and shit, and then Dimitri and Miguel like being ass. Like there was not Miguel, Dimitri and Eli being ass. Like there wasn't a lot. You know what I'm saying? So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then so then we. Yeah, and then that's basically how this side of things for Miguel ends up. And then obviously, like, training Johnny and stuff like that. And then he does decide to defer his time. But the big thing that happened here is that it turns out Stanford did accept his application, but it's not because of. Initially, he was just saying, I feel like I'm not doing really well or anything like that. I need to be like champion for this, and then like maybe they will accept me based on that. But then it turns out, no, they actually accepted him for who he was as a person, as his educational standards and all that, not because of his skills as a karate person. So that was a pretty big moment.
I think instead of fighting for Stanford or fighting for, let's call it whatever, he fights for himself. So
yeah, and then the last episode was his wrap up is going to.
DeFrost Robot said the power was him all along.
The power was in him all along.
Yay.
So yeah, that's Miguel's story. Again, Miguel has been there since the beginning. Honestly, what I noticed is like she's wearing the necklace. Is like I was wearing a different necklace and it's a blue beetle. That was funny.
What'd you think about the Johnny, the fight between Johnny and Wolf, and how Wolf was like playing around, and then Johnny.
I mean, I like that an idea, but at the same time, it's like, oh, second strike. Okay, if you keep doing this again, you're gonna deduct a point, and then he did that again, and no points is deducted. I was like, okay, that's my biggest problem. Was like, okay, you don't say that if you're not gonna do that.
The thing is, like, the only thing I don't know is like, is it specifically for a type of hit? Like, oh, if you do that move again, okay, but then I did a different thing that's illegal, so I guess that one is okay. So, but he's clearly doing illegal hits, so it's like on purpose. So
that was so clearly illegal hits. What the fuck? You can't.
I find it funny that Stingray suggested that back Cobra Kai in the first episode of the season, but now that's an actual viable idea. Oh, taking back Cobra Kai, yeah. Why don't we take back Cobra Kai? Yes. Yeah. We can talk about Johnny. It's honestly crazy how this definitely. I mean, honestly, I don't know if if the entire show is like this as well, but like it's definitely a love letter to Johnny Lawrence. Especially how much of an underdog he's been his whole life.
So if you think about it, like, and they were trying to play him like he was the bad guy. How would y'all feel if some dude from New Jersey with his slick New Jersey accent walk up on your girl and just take her? Like we gotta be real. We gotta be really real. Because I was thinking about this because I watch a show called All American, and it's about like it's similar thing where there's a kid, or not similar thing. It's a basketball football show. But anyway, kid from Compton goes to Beverly Hills and becomes a star on a football team, and he takes one of the star players' girlfriends, and then like they have beef. Like, why wouldn't I be mad? Like, some of this shit is just unrealistic. Like, he should be mad. What the fuck are we talking about, bro? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's like, because like obviously like with a lot of karate and stuff like that, a lot of it is finding balance and control of what you're doing. Like, you have to try and release all that negative energy while you're releasing it in your strikes and stuff like that. So I understand that kind of thing, and then but at the same time, as a human who's probably not like he's not like in tune on the fundamentals of karate in that sense. Like he'll definitely use it out of anger or something like that. So that's the kind of level and control that he does struggle with overall. But that's just who he is as a person. Whereas like obviously Daniel is a little bit more in tune with the methods of karate for what they are and all that stuff. But that's just like, I guess you can see those different perspectives from the two of them. But yeah, I mean this season with Johnny in particular, you see a lot of his lows and you see a lot of his highs in this stuff. I mean, you have some flashbacks of like when he was essentially like talking to the grave of his mother about like how he got arrested for some guy calling him a loser and he hit him and all this stuff. And you know, he's like unshaven, drinking alcohol and all that stuff. And as he continues to talk to the grave of his mother, it's like, maybe I am a loser, that kind of stuff. So it's like, but like that's coming off of this is coming off of the scenes of like where he's become, he wants to marry Carmen and all that stuff, and the baby is now there. And they have like they do like the wedding in the hospital, essentially. So yeah, you know, a lot of good things are happening to Johnny now, and then everything with like this side of things, and then like the, you know, now that and then we talked about, I mean, we practically talked about Kreese and Johnny's conversation, but if there's anything else you wanted to add to that.
I mean, to be fair, it's a lot of like, justifying like, well, why the fuck is Johnny such a loser now? It's like, oh, that is so clear. It's like, it's because Kreese influenced him a lot. And the characterizes both immediately. It was like, this is how you traumatized me since 45 years. You left me and stuff.
But I think like, because this is the biggest thing, especially with like father figures or like authority. Like when you're at your lowest, they're supposed to be the ones that give you guidance. And because how Johnny was with his stepdad, the rich guy that just didn't really care about him and just threw money at him, what you call it, and the fact that in his time, like his one time in need, like his adoptive father, basically in the karate world, Kreese, who really was just trying to use him, but then actually I think Kreese actually joined to like learn to like Robbie like a son, what is it?
just fuck. I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought, bro. What was I talking about?
His relationship with Chris.
Oh yeah, so I like from Johnny's perspective, it's like the male like role models in his life is kind of always walk out of his life, and like I could see how that would like affect him for the entirety of it because when he lost, he needed guidance. So like, how do I come back from a loss? How do this, that, and the third? Because we figure out that Johnny in his past before LaRusso beat him, he was already undefeated. He already won the. Didn't he win the other All Valley tournament in karate or something like that? So he never really had a loss like that. So.
Yeah, again, it's like it kind of shocked me because like in the hallway scene with Kreese, you don't really see. I mean, he has like shown some tears, like getting emotional and stuff, but he legitimately cries in that moment, like being so disappointed in how Kreese just like left him. Essentially, I trusted no one, not even myself. Yeah, that was definitely a gut puncher. And then Kreese just didn't know what to say. It's just essentially just gives him a hug. There's nothing he can do to like fix that mistake, but there's something he can do now. He's just not sure how to fix that, and that's what he's like. Maybe there is a way to fix this, is by having Miguel and Johnny do Cobra Kai. But yeah, that was a really good scene.
Yeah, and then you just got a lot of like characterization. To be honest, that's like last episode. So it's like he just tried to redeem himself, and it's like okay, and because he also accepted the fact that just teach me, Daniel, and just give like his son proper guidance. Just have fun, just show that you're Miguel and stuff. You don't care what other people think.
And
yeah,
mhm.
Of course,
Yeah.
there's like the last scene of like training montage with LaRusso, and then he just like, oh, I'm not gonna fear you. Well, to be honest, he's like younger, stronger, blah blah. To be honest, I don't even know what to say about the younger, stronger stuff. It's like it sounds like
Yeah. It's like it's still true. Like Luis Tan is younger and stronger, but like a lot of it will come down for Johnny. That's kind of like what Danny's saying as well. Is like Johnny, you're gonna have to rely more on your discipline and all this stuff. Like he's not. At the end of the day, he's still a human and all this stuff. There's a way to stop him. It's a mix of the things that like you've learned from these two dojos. Essentially, is the idea of his conversation. But yeah, when they do eventually get on the mat and they fight, like what's it called? Wolf is essentially landing a lot of dirty hits, like knee to the stomach, kick to the back of the head, elbow to the chest, elbow to the chin. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. My bad, guys.
I was like, yeah, sure. Well, yeah, that's definitely. Of course, like, Wolf gets to him and he just like casually twists his arm and stuff. I'm gonna be honest, shouldn't there be cameras about this?
In the locker room, I mean, they don't really put cameras in the locker room because that would be invading privacy, but it's convenient, sure.
Yeah, it is a convenient. It's like Johnny's the only one in the locker room.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean that. Yeah. So then, they're having their fight, and yeah. Go ahead.
Speaking of the fight, like towards the end of the fight, where he has the fake flashback where Wolf goes into the Shaolin whatever shit, the little killing move, and I thought that he was gonna do like the crane pose because he has the memory of it. But
I thought
basically,
like
I think it was just like Like I think it was great that he basically did it his own way, like the little Johnny Lawrence spinning back fist. Like he basically did it his own way, and he was able to win. So I think that was good. So
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah, that's what I thought. He's gonna do a Johnny Lawrence thing, but the Daniel LaRusso thing. No, he just gonna do like. Actually, I'm gonna make him lose balance. I'm just gonna hit him when the chance comes.
Yeah, and another thing we kind of missed earlier was like, because like Kreese was talking about how Johnny, when he lost to Danny, he took it very well. He did good, LaRusso, that kind of thing. Is like I can't even understand. I was never able to understand how you could like just take that for what it was or anything like that. And then when Johnny wins this fight against Wolf, you get Danny saying you did good, Lawrence. So it was a nice homage. Yeah, and that was another good point too. It's like showing the flashback of the crane kick, but then Johnny ends up doing his own thing that he wanted to do, and he got to do it. But he did get to go on his defensive stance too, so he got to see that. Because at this point, like Wolf is like kind of getting desperate in his movements.
I'm also going to talk about it. If Wolf landed that like the little thing, the exploding heart technique thing, you're gonna kill. Like what is wrong with? That's what I think. It's also like crazy that they're just evil. Like Wolf is just inherently. Why are you gonna? It's a fighting match, and you're gonna go to my killing technique.
Yeah,
My killing technique. We're sparring.
What the fuck? I mean, even if that's the case, I'm like, everyone would be like, okay,
Now, obviously,
this should be disqualification, you dumb fuck.
I mean, they don't know what the technique is. You could just say, "Oh, I didn't know it can kill people," because only Terry Silver and Wolf know that move kills people, right?
yeah.
So,
because I mean, essentially, like, but like even then, it's like I guess you can kill the person in the fight, and it won't be like a immediate disqualification. Because what can you do? They can't.
because it's full contact martial arts. Like, for instance, like if I hit you with a what you call a chest kick and like collapse your lung and you die, like that's like I hit you with a kick. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that's I know obviously like your body shouldn't be that frail, but that can happen. Like or like you have internal.
I mean, the sport inherently is dangerous overall. Anything could really happen, but yeah.
But yeah, at the same time, it's like it's just obvious. Like if you're just like, oh, how the fuck do you hit him? Actually, I've got to hit him in the nuts intentionally. I was like, yeah, sure. I definitely believe you that you're not trying to beat the fuck out of that person. Or just like aim like hit his eye. I was like, okay, yeah, sure. You're definitely not cheating. It's like because there's like Wolf's technique is like, I'm gonna try to kill you during a match. I was like, you're not gonna trick. This is not gonna work in the competition.
Because ultimately, like you don't have to kill him at any point. You just need to make him fall to the ground
3 times. Only they went 3 points. It's 3 points.
It's 3 points.
I also think it's funny how like all the matches have been time based with rounds, and then their thing is 3 points, like it was for his thing.
Yeah, it seemed to be like whoever gets to 3 first wins. Since there's no bonus points. I guess that makes sense. But yeah, and then we also talked about Johnny as well. He has his family. He gets to use them. Like he wins it. He finally gets to win a tournament legitimately as a champion for Cobra Kai. And then post the fight, every kid in the valley wants to learn at the Cobra Kai dojo and all that stuff. So everybody is like so excited to like, I want to learn karate too. And and he's still continuing the method of when I first saw Cobra Kai, this is what I thought about it. I don't think all of these things as much as I do anymore, but I still believe in the values of Cobra Kai. No mercy and all that stuff. And and he does go like he is talking to them like Miguel was just a loser, he was a dork, but like he eventually became one of the best fighters that I've known, and to the point where he's a world champion. So anything is possible, even like making fun of some of the kids who kind of remind him of some of the kids that he has trained in the past. But you know, it's like in a teacher friendly, but I'm not really joking kind of way. But yeah, and then he's also talking about, you know, because like Miyagi-Do is like a little bit more focused oriented on defense. He's more focused oriented on offense. So these are different values that you can learn from different dojos. So he has learned the benefit of seeing the values of both methods that could help him enhance him as a fighter. And he's hoping that the kids can also learn that moving forward as well. So, yeah. So, I thought all that stuff was really good.
Yeah, it's like, and then just his way of like getting back to him. It's not like, oh, just gotta be about defensive. It's like, no, remember your values while also take what we learn, what you learn, and just apply it together. It's like, yeah,
Yes.
that's really good stuff.
Yeah, and
And also, he has the courage to actually, like, you know, oh, marry me. Yeah,
yeah.
that's good.
It was so nice. Like how much effort he put into trying to get the wedding, the proposal to be good. Hires like some violinist, bought like it's like get some flowers. So what he does is cuts up flowers from his neighbor, steals them, and then you need to get a nice tuxedo. First, he starts off wearing a T-shirt that has a tuxedo print on it, and then he eventually got a legitimate one. You need to be a good cook, so he actually goes out of his way to take cooking lessons. He's not very good at it, but you know, he's trying. So, yeah, it's really
Of course,
nice.
all of them are just the first search result of fucking Google. I was like, oh, okay.
And then they finally used the "You're the Best" song. It was coming, but it was still great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I mean, they also get like sing like "Sweet Child of Mine" again, like you know the usual like, oh, good, like, you know, winning song.
That was a cool. I thought the Cobra Kai reveal, I like the use of Thunderstruck. I thought that was a good use of it.
Yeah, the music in the show has always been pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much Cobra Kai. And the end of Cobra Kai. So for you guys, how did you feel about the journey of Cobra Kai from what it was before to where it is now?
I think Cobra Kai showed us wasn't it a YouTube Red show, and then YouTube Red ended, but then it went to Netflix and it was successful. Like, I think it just basically showed us that, like, you can, if you can have an idea, if you can properly like interpret it, like create an idea, then there will be an audience for it, and like you can connect like generations of people, because there are a lot of people that are watching Cobra Kai that hadn't seen the original Karate Kid movies. Now, yes. I was lucky. I have an older brother that's like 32, so he was in love with the Karate Kid movies, so he kind of exposed me to them early when I was like 6 and 7. But there's a lot of people that their Karate Kid experience is only the Jaden Smith movie, and they don't know who the fuck Ralph Macchio is. They don't know who William Zabka is. They don't know who the Pat guy, I can't even say his last name, Marathi or something like that is. So I think it was just good, exposed people to university. It felt like people said the storylines were corny, but it's like it's supposed to like mimic the 80s karate flick shit. Like, I don't know if it like that era. So it had a little nostalgic feel to it. Like the music, like the rock and roll, like it just was good energy. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's a long way since like season 1. To be fair, I did not watch it since season 1. I think I've seen this like after season 3 dropped. So it's like, but it's still a long time since I watched the show. And it's like, I remember watching it on YouTube for some reason. Fucking hell.
Yeah. I know one of the bigger things, like in terms of the criticisms, either the cheesiness of it at times, or like some of the melodrama, I think some of the melodrama is pretty good, and then some of it is like, okay, this is unnecessary.
I mean, it's like this
here and
season
there.
perfect. Yeah, this season perfect summarized a lot of melodrama. It's like, what does it amount to? Like the mystery, like, oh, that's it for another girl. What does that amount to? Absolutely nothing. Oh, she lost a girl, and she's next scene. Next time they met, they just bought that. He got brought back. I was like, oh, okay, I guess that's it.
Mhm. Yeah, and then my only main thing was like, yeah, sometimes the mass fighting is stupid. It's clear that they got it out of one season and they liked it a lot, that they put it into every season afterwards.
Yeah.
I thought it was really silly how they used it in season 6. This is supposed to be like a trained. Everybody is like in the world has trained in karate and all this stuff, and everybody is so petty enough that they'll fight
Yeah.
each other, like senseis, students, and all alike. Like that was really, and obviously it was all to build the camaraderie and the vitriol to the point where somebody literally had to die for everybody to stop.
It's
So yeah,
yeah. I mean, like
To be
the
honest,
first.
I think so
I think the
because
schoolyard fight was the good one though, right? If I'm not mistaken.
That's built up to be fair. Yeah, I mean, there's like some problems with it, like because like okay, I don't remember. Is it because you can tell that some people sometimes the show just wants some jokes instead of like replace serious moments. For example, part 3, like the second episode of part 3 is like, oh, this guy was like, I'm gonna return Cobra Kai, Sakai in this dojo in this place, and everyone just like, oh, what's lunch? I want to eat this. I want to eat this. I was like, you're undercutting it.
Mm.
And then afterwards, like, oh, you know what? Why can't I host it? Why are you hosting it? I was like, probably because he's like really famous and he's like natural guy and you're just a fatty person and then just like, you know what? Let's just fight. And it's like let's
Yeah,
see
yeah.
old
Oh,
school way.
the board of office room.
Was like, what the fuck was that
That
scene?
was a little goofy.
And it was like, old school way. Let's just beat each other. I was like, what?
Kicks to
Of
the
course.
face. It was a nice like ending for that. It's like I felt bad for doing that. I just needed to make sure that it happened the way that it should, and then. But here, I'll let you do the host, and he did a good job hosting the thing. So I'll give him that.
My favorite action scenes are still probably from season 4 though. Like Evil Robbie, that was the best evil like character in the show. I personally feel like, especially that what he did to Kenny with that backflip kick to the face was insane. Like that was insane.
Yeah, that was I mean, it's like I don't know. My favorite action is probably season 1 because because season 1 is still the best season for me. For how natural things progress and stuff. Because I'm gonna be honest here. It's like it's the one that they took really seriously and stuff, like a lot of goofy stuff. Hey, do you guys laugh when they have like a moment of silence of Quan die and then it's like, oh, let's just have two characters eating nachos. I was like, that was kind of tone deaf.
Yeah. Honestly, like, how would you rate your experience with Cobra Kai as a whole?
Out of 10?
Well, that or like, do you think like it stuck the landing or anything like that?
So I really liked the last couple episodes. The second one kind of dragged on. The entirety of Cobra Kai, season 1 to season 6, I'll give like out of 10, 7 point, like 7.7, 7.8. Like a really good show. There's some shit, but it's like some stuff obviously I didn't agree with. Some stuff is like because they're trying to mimic like the little 80s karate flavor that it had before. So, but yeah. So overall I enjoyed it. So I wasn't disappointed. So
yeah, I really heavily value a very good ending the most. Especially for shows that last for so long. Since like that's like what really gives you the lasting impact. So the fact that I really like the ending so much is like at least it was worth it. So
yeah, it was worth it. It's like worth all the build up. Of course, there's still problems with it. And probably they probably need a better villain for this. They absolutely need a better villain. when it comes to
Yeah.
concluding the show.
Yeah, I can see that. I think my big value though, like with how the character arcs have ended, especially, I do still think like it was worth it at the end.
It's worth it.
I'm wondering like the fact that it first came up as an idea, just like somebody on like just getting it on YouTube and getting the actors from that era, and then just like telling their story here and there, and then it became a franchise of its own. I'm just wondering, like, will we ever see something like that again? Like taking an IP from like maybe the 80s or 90s, putting it nowadays, and like on YouTube. I just don't know. Like, is that possible to do that again?
Yeah, I guess, but not okay. But okay, so okay. So let me say my thoughts first. I actually really do enjoy the ending. Okay, not most of the ending. Like there's some things that I would fix, but the overall, I probably just gave the entire show like a 6 or 7. I'm gonna be honest, the melodrama sometimes the tone is a whiplash, but it's like a lot of the characters of us are always good. But yeah, I'm gonna be honest. This show is like 1 in a million when it comes to respecting the past. What the fuck do you even get now? That is so tone deaf when it comes to like respecting legacies. I literally got no idea.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Top Gun Maverick, that's a good one, but honestly, I don't know. That's it. I mean, Top Gun Maverick and this show.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know the Goonies are coming back.
I tried to. I don't even like that. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like that shit. No, I know that's not my generation, and I wasn't interested when I was a kid. I don't like that shit. It's whatever.
I never seen it, so I just don't have anything to say. I was like, I guess I'll watch it, but it's like at the same time, you just kind of see that. Yeah, I just want to say it.
Crystal show was good only for 1 season. Gotta give credit for the writers getting the value out of the misaligned Product 3. Yeah, I heard it was kind of mixed bag. You were saying?
What the fuck did I just say? Yeah, I don't know. What did I just say? Fuck. I forgot what is that.
I think we were talking about the movies from the 90s, 80s and 90s getting current day sequels.
I mean, I saw some of this stuff. So they had a yeah. Do you guys know the Eddie Murphy movie Beverly Hills Cop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had a sequel for it on Netflix that came out in 2024. It was okay, but
I never even seen the original movie, so I don't have any desire to watch it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it's gonna be like because no one talked about it, that's a thing. I was like, okay, so this movie shouldn't even be that good.
Yeah, that's what Axel F. Yeah, Destroyer. I got it. Yeah, I thought it was okay. So.
Yeah, I mean they gotta have the new Karate Kid movie next. I'm gonna be honest. I think it's gonna be bad. I don't.
Jackie Chan, Ralph Macchio. They see how good Cobra Kai is. I think it's gonna have a lot of care and stuff into it. Also,
yeah, the trailer looked nice. I'd say like it did give me some interest in watching the movie. So
also, the kid, he was in a show on Netflix called American Born Chinese.
Oh yeah,
he's a pretty good actor, so I think he's really fine. He's like 20 something, so he's not like even. He looks young as hell. He's 25. He's our age, so he's 25. He looks so young.
Yeah,
he looks so young. I didn't know he was 25.
Yeah, I look
so he's our age.
Yeah. Wallace and Gromit, the foul thing. Yeah, that shit's funny, but that's like corny funny. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need more convincing because I look at the credit and the fact that no one in Cobra Kai actually is involved in that movie. I'm just gonna raise some eyebrows.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like from this perspective, I like the trailer for what it was. I just don't know because I didn't know the development team at all. I remember because like the trailer came out like, and the show hasn't ended yet, so it's like, oh, are they gonna spoil anything for the ending of Cobra Kai in this trailer? They didn't do that. They just showed Danny. They showed Danny a few times, but not they didn't really talk anything about the extent of like what was going on.
So basically, what happened is the movie it's written like it's finished written like during like what the fuck 2023 December.
Strike.
Yeah, that's when the movie is finished written.
Are you talking about Karate Kid Legends?
Yeah. That
So
and
the
so
The
they
producer
said-
Will Smith. So didn't Will Smith produce the other Karate Kid movie? Was that
Will Smith produced Karate Kid?
Oh no, maybe he didn't. Maybe he didn't. I'm just asking. So it's produced. One of the lead producers is Will Smith. That's what it says.
I mean, to be fair, I don't really like Will Smith, but yeah, it's like
Why don't you like that? Never mind.
that's like yeah. Hey, do you know how much he slaps?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't. Because
Yeah, he was a producer for that movie. For his son.
He's a producer for Cobra Kai as well, and he's not producing for the new Karate Kid movie.
Interesting.
Yeah,
so is Jada. She's also here as well.
Yeah, that's a thing. Hey.
So yeah.
Can't wait. I mean,
so that was our thoughts on Cobra Kai.
yeah, we really like it. Could it be better? Absolutely, but yeah.
For what it was, it's good. If they want to do this with more properties, I wouldn't be close to it. Like, do you think like some maybe not because they tried to constantly bring back the Ghostbusters shit and that shit is ass.
No, fuck that shit. I don't know.
I'm not saying it's good, but I'm just like they've tried keep on trying to bring back Ghostbusters. I don't like.
Yeah, they've tried twice.
Yeah. Okay, I've seen the 224 is love when it comes to like sequel, spin-off, blah blah franchise and shit. And I don't think any of them are good. I don't think
they brought back Beetlejuice. They brought back
I heard the Beetlejuice was a good movie. Where it wasn't
actually Unity and I are kind of split on that, to be honest. I didn't hate the movie. I thought there was some issues, but yeah.
So which one of you guys like it? Which one of you guys doesn't like it?
I was okay with it. He doesn't like it at all.
No, I don't even like. I don't even have any nostalgia for the original film. I watched it like 2 weeks before the next one came out.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sequel movies.
Alien.
But if you didn't like the first one, then it's like liking the second one is probably like yeah.
Oh, I really like the first one.
Sometimes it's good, but yeah.
Yeah, there's the Ghostbuster Frozen Empire is also last year, if you remember.
We talked about Aliens as well.
Gladiator. Oh my god.
Theater.
But I enjoyed I saw Gladiator too. I enjoyed Gladiator.
Did you watch? How recent have you seen Gladiator 1?
Last year or so. Why?
Because I'd say like Gladiator 1 to Gladiator 2. I feel like I'd feel the night and day difference because I feel like Gladiator 1 is like easily superior.
Oh,
I didn't say Gladiator 1 was worse. I just I like Gladiator 2.
Yeah, fair. I mean, I'm gonna be honest here because I don't remember Gladiator 1 that much, but even that I was like Gladiator 2, what the fuck is Star Wars? Okay, the first movie means nothing. Lol. Was like, oh, fuck you. Well, literally, that's my first reaction when I first saw the film, and then we got and also we got like the Terminator spin-off show, and we break it down, and I was horrified by it.
Oh, the Terminator anime. Yeah.
Yeah, Terminator 0. Apparently, it's canon to all 6 films. I was like, what the? How does that work?
Well, that brings up Jenna Ortega. I will say something I like. Have you guys seen Wednesday?
Yes.
When I really enjoyed Wednesday, and I see Wednesday. They had a trailer for it. Wednesday season 2 is coming, so that's gonna be. I think that'd be good. So, what you guys think of what is it? Because if we're talking about old movies, they can bring it back. What is it? Scream.
Right.
I haven't seen it.
Scream has never stopped. To be honest, like it's been like going. It's on Screen 7 now, so like they never stopped the franchise. And I've also been a person like Scream should not have been a franchise. It should have stayed as Scream 1. But yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I seen the first movie. I like it. and afterwards I said I'm not gonna watch more Scream movies.
Yeah, it's kind of the thing. It's like it's the novelty of a not fourth wall breaking, but self awareness of horror movie genres and cliches and stuff like that, while being in a horror movie itself. So that was very unique and very good for what it was. Honestly, like what's funny is that Sonny is the one who put me on that movie, Shaq. So
Oh,
I found it pretty funny. But
Buffy the Vampires, I didn't like. Well, I mean, maybe I saw it when I was younger, and I didn't
I'll
like girls.
kill
That's probably
myself. I will watch the Buffy show. I will kill myself afterwards. Mark my
yeah,
because I have nothing
so
that's gonna be
I know like Buffy, they're talking about making a sequel now.
I mean,
It's just like
Oh, I saw. Did you guys see? There was a rumor. Did you see that? There's a rumor that there's going to be a spinoff. What is it? Jimmy Neutron show.
Yeah, what is it? After
I
Planet
like Jimmy
Sheen?
Neutron a lot. Planet Sheen
Yeah.
was not. Planet Sheen was like a spinoff, but that was terrible. Planet Sheen was not good. But,
Yeah, as long as it's not that quality, then like yeah, I mean Jimmy
I'm not
Neutron was
gonna
cool.
watch. I'm not gonna watch it. I'm just gonna say to be honest, I never watched Jimmy Neutron, so I'm not gonna watch it.
Jimmy Neutron's a good show. Good little show.
Yeah.
To be fair, that's a love show.
That All-Star is definitely the art style is definitely dated, like the little bulgy 3D models, but it's a good show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a lot. Yeah, that's a lot. To be honest, a lot. Now, this like these years have really nullified me when it comes to like my hopes for sequels. Because a lot of it is just like, well, why do you even bring it back for nostalgia? That's it. It's like last year is so worthless. I was so baffled by it. And what do we also have? Like the Tomb Raider show on Netflix. No one knows. No one remembers it anymore. By the way, I broke down for like over 5 hours.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that?
Yeah, based on the Tomb Raider games.
All the Tomb Raider games.
All the Tomb Raider games.
All the Tomb Raider games. It's not even in the same
They're
timeline.
supposed to be like basically they're supposed to be non-canon to each other, but the show says no, they're actually all canon, which is impossible. But yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely impossible. What do we have? Joker 2. Fuck that shit. Literally, fuck that.
No, but Joker 2 didn't even make Joker. They didn't. Isn't it like I didn't see it? Didn't they make it a musical? I didn't.
They turned it into a musical. Yeah.
That had no chance of being good.
For me specifically, because I didn't hate the movie, I still think it's really bad. But I will say that I think the worst thing about it is that the musical aspect of it is just like it takes the worst aspect of it, like just doing music scenes just for the sake of doing a music scene.
My God, I'm a theater kid.
Like it had to be in there, or like, and honestly, like some of the things is like maybe the scenes are doing okay, like with like the dialogue and the conversations, but then they stop everything just to do a song and all this stuff, and it happens too often that like maybe if they cut out maybe 4 or 5 of the songs, like maybe it could have been a little bit more tolerable as a movie. But even then, it's definitely a step down from Joker 1.
Dude, I'm a fucking theater kid. When I hear songs like that, I was like, just stop singing. You guys are singing nothing.
Yeah.
And then yeah, that's the thing. And what do we also have? Wicked, of course. Fuck that. I don't even know how to qualify Wicked. It's an adaptation of Broadway, but also it's a fan fiction sequel for Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
That was if they say this move, if they actually just like who made the company that made the Wizard of Oz was like we officially announced Wicked is a canonical sequel to Wizard of Oz, a prequel. Actually, I will be so pissed off.
But yeah, Cobra Kai, it was really good. I think I agree with the 7 rating.
I mean, this season perfectly exemplifies the entire show. When it's really good, it's really good. When it's really bad, it's like there's AI shit, the AI 3D modeling thing, and character just teleporting.
Yeah. But yeah, Shaq, any last thoughts?
So I'll probably be back here at the end of if you guys want to, because are you guys watching Invincible? So when that
Yeah.
eventually ends,
We'll call
Wait,
you
what?
back for Invincible.
Wait, what the? Oh fuck! Invincible is back already.
It started February, like my birthday, February 6th. That's when it started.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And then also, Unity, have you been watching? We've been watching My Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yes.
5 episodes. Why ask?
Yeah, so we might go back in for that, just show a little bit of that, but yeah, so but it's been good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good having you.
It's good having you.
And yeah, you don't need any last thoughts about the show?
It's like I like it. I mean, overall I like it. There's some moments I was like, but it's good. I'm glad the show exists, and I'm glad when I say I was so pissed off if Karate Kid Legend is so bad, and it actually ruins Danny LaRusso.
Which part?
Karate Kid Legend, the next movie.
Oh, you mean the movie?
Yeah.
I hope not. But time will tell.
No.
But yeah, I did enjoy the show. I enjoyed the season for what it was. I actually have not watched Cobra Kai like that. A lot of the discussion points that we've been talking about is really my takes on season 6 alone. So that's kind of why I've been relying on either Shaq or Unity to kind of talk about their points of views about previous seasons, so they can like at least fill some gaps or like help me understand a few things. So I did like this season for what it is. I think it does a pretty good job of like, at least incorporating and understand, especially since this season has a lot of flashbacks for previous seasons and the movies. So it's like it kind of helps out in that sense. Oh, is this a reference? Okay, it actually shows me the reference, so I can get it. Maybe it could be more annoying for somebody who's already seen the show, so it's like, okay. But I think that to be fair part is like, if you know this is the last season, you should understand that flashbacks for the last season is usually a thing that happens. So it does make sense. But yeah, I really enjoyed the experience. I definitely will like go through it. I'll also watch the movies as well, because like I think we're probably going to talk about Karate Kid Legends as well down the line. So it'll be good to have some prep so that we're prepared for that.
Don't remind me of Arcane season 2. Oh my god, that was
let's wrap it up. But yeah, thanks again, Shaq. Subscribe to the Trikage channel. My college friends have their own channel there. Could you describe what that channel is about?
We do reaction content. We're gonna just later this year. We're gonna go into more like creative, like we do music reactions. We do just general streams where we talk about stuff. We had a couple did a couple brackets streams. We did a couple of debate streams a little bit. So we'll just we do a little bit of everything. We're gonna be trying to make some in-person videos sooner or later this year. So
yeah, subscribe to the Trikage. The link is in the description down below. Subscribe to our channels, Red Devilosa Reviews, Unity Reviews and Analysis. We talk movies and TV shows. Subscribe to Another Reviews Corp podcast, where we archive these videos, and subscribe to that channel so that we can get that to 100 subs and we can do live streams there. And yeah, thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.